Every match, every pass, every goal.
Oh, Olivier! He drops to his knees and implores the heavens.
The home of LAFC is 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Here we go, Travis Rogers, DeMarco Farr.
The far side. You ready for the far side? I'm in the far side. You're in the far side.
Go. Welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. So let's get to the fun, shall we? The Travis and DeMarco Show right now.
Yeah! There's Andy Kamenetsky. DeMarco is still with his family, hanging out, so he will be back soon. AK filling in for DeMarco. How you feeling, AK?
Good, man. Very good.
Are you ready for an Ask Andy coming up in about 45
I'm
minutes?
very excited. I did not realize when I walked in that we would be doing Ask Andy, but that's going to be cool.
That's coming up in just a little bit. You can send them to me at Travis Rogers. You can send them to M at Emily Hebel. Roars. How are you, M?
Roars.
And you can send them to Jorge Buenos Dias.
Buenos dias.
At JabCam LA. There we go. We got that covered. How was the weekend, everybody?
It was good. Very good.
Yeah,
Nice.
Good Father's Day?
Had a good Father's Day. Me and my wife and my daughter. We had lunch in Culver City. This
nice.
Peruvian place called Lonzo's. That's
okay.
Really good. Very, very good food. Very good presentation.
Oh, I like that.
My ceviche, it had a little flour.
Oh,
they put a little flour in there.
How dainty.
Was it fish or shrimp?
All of it.
Oh,
I got
nice.
I got the mixto.
Oh, nice.
That's Spanish for mixed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, qué bueno. Just so you know, huh?
Yes.
That sounds great.
It was really good.
Did you have a cold beer with that?
I did not have. They actually don't have alcohol at Lonzo's, but that's fine. But it was a very, very nice, then chilled. Netflix, Emily might have noticed this. Netflix just put a bunch of Hitchcock on their rotation now. I don't know. Is it like his 100th birthday, or is there like a reason?
I think they just acquired them, and so they're putting them all out on the
so
platform.
I in between like Dodgers and other stuff, took in a little bit of Hitchcock this weekend, so that was fun.
What did you watch?
I watched
The Birds.
I did not watch The Birds, but that is on the agenda.
Rear Window.
I did watch Rear Window.
There you go. Okay.
Which
Vertigo?
I did watch Vertigo as well. Vertigo and Rear Window were the ones that I watched over the weekend. I've seen them both, but it's been a while.
They're fun.
Rear Window is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I haven't seen one of those movies in forever, but they're creepy and fun.
And how is he so obsessed with the murder that happened when Grace Kelly is at his apartment? It's like, let's pay attention to what's really important here.
Well,
murder, Grace Kelly.
Who knows what's going to capture your attention on any given day?
Stunningly good.
Yeah, it turns out she was pretty. Turns out they got
you can understand how she ended up a princess.
Well, sure. I'd
world.
like to be married to her. When you're the prince, you can do that.
Good actress too, but she is just stunning.
Yeah. Yes. I agree with you. Em, how was your weekend?
I went to Din Tai Fung for the first time.
Oh,
it was really good. It was fun. My friends were like, let me hold your hand through this, because they've been a million times, and so they're like, here's what you have to order. I'm like, sure, whatever, we're gonna do it. And so went there after I saw The Materialists. It was good.
What's The Materialists?
It's a rom-com. I have emphasis on the rom, less com.
Okay, not funny.
It's not funny. It's just not the point of the movie.
Okay.
It's not How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. You're not laughing at the characters. There are funny moments in a more serious movie, and it stars Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, and Chris Evans.
Okay.
Chris Evans was really, really good at it.
That's Captain America?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just want to make sure I have the right guy there.
How was your golfing in Santa Barbara and your Santa Barbara trip?
Terrific. 10 out of 10. Wouldn't change a thing. It was great. I got to hang out with my dad a little bit. We did a little Father's Day golf. It was a beautiful day in Santa Barbara. Big surprise. Had some good food. Went to a great restaurant. Watched some college baseball. Watched a ridiculous Dodger game on Saturday night.
Did your kids get you anything for Father's Day?
Yes, as a matter of fact, which we could talk about coming up in just a little bit. But my mom delivered big time with the Father's Day gift. She bought me packs of baseball cards. Perfect. I had a good solid 15 minutes of opening those packs of baseball cards. It was the most fun I've had in a very long time. It was just look.
What era cards?
Now new ones. Like brand new.
Did you get any current Dodgers?
I got a Mookie. I got a Glasnow. I got 2 heels.
Oh, nice.
2.
Wow.
2 heels.
I got one right here. Look.
I know. I got 2. I said it. I'm firing through them, and I said heel. And my mom goes, I know what that means.
Great.
So she was very excited.
So,
yeah.
Travis, I'm surprised you've gotten to like 9:05 without this excitement.
It's morning, everyone. Today's the day.
Today is the day. Today is the day. Shohei Ohtani is making his Dodger debut on the mound. It's a very specific set of circumstances, but it's going to be awesome. We're not going to get to see him pitch 6-7 innings and mow guys down, but who cares? It's going to be great. Ohtani, Padres tonight, Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, people need to understand he's going to pitch an inning, 2 max. Like, this is in a lot of ways part of the rehab, but because he's in the lineup every day, you can't take him out, send him down to OKC where he does 2 or 3 rehab starts. Like, unless you're going to go a couple weeks without Ohtani, and nobody wants that. So he's essentially doing his rehab while he's actually playing for the Dodgers. So it's going to be awesome to see.
It is a glorified, I don't want to say high stakes, higher stakes bullpen. It's
well, it's going to feel high stakes because it's against the Padres.
That's what I mean.
Like there's electricity with the game,
and it counts. So if he's bad, we're going to put some value on it. If he's really good, we'll put some value on it. But it's going to be a relatively short outing. It's like you said, it's going to be an inning, maybe 2. Like if he goes out there and if they run out the same lineup they ran out yesterday, it will be Tatis, Arise, and Machado. Okay, that's a pretty good welcome back to the big leagues moment. But if he sets those guys down, or maybe one guy gets on, wouldn't be surprised if you run him for a second. But we've been waiting for this for a year and a half. We knew we were getting closer, where Dave Roberts said last week, it's north of 0 before the All-Star game. And then, maybe sooner than later. And then, boom, we found out late last night, almost right as the Dodger game ended, that he was going to come and pitch tonight.
How much do you think at all this is dictated by the circumstances of the Dodgers pitching rotation?
Some, not much.
Okay.
Like a very small. Put it to you this way: they could literally be down to Kike Hernandez making a start, and I don't think that they would put him out there sooner than if they thought he was ready.
Because that's really important. Like that thought has crossed my mind. Like the idea of the Dodgers' circumstances with so many guys in the rotation down, that they're obviously not going to risk Ohtani's health.
Right.
But the idea that maybe they would accelerate this out of necessity.
I think it was one. I think what rarely do I hear them say something and take it entirely at face value, but I do take this at face value. The explanation of to have him throw a simulated game of 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 innings to cool down, get his treatment, basically get off your feet and then ramp back up for a Major League Baseball game as the designated hitter. You're basically asking him to perform a double header. That's almost like double duty. The lighter duty, as weird as this sounds, and this just speaks to the uniqueness of Ohtani, is, what would be easier? Why don't you just pitch and hit in the same game? That's actually, oddly enough, an easier ask of him because he's going to ramp up and throw. So let's just have him throw against major league hitters in a real game rather than have him mow down some minor leaguers before the game, cool off, get ready, and then go back and perform as a designated hitter.
It's going to be
bizarre.
Yeah, it's very, very bizarre. It's going to be really, really exciting. Like, it's funny. We've talked about this before. I have not always been convinced that Ohtani was ever going to pitch for the Dodgers.
Okay.
Because it's awesome, and there is a legit extra benefit. I mean, you hope Ohtani looks like the guy from 2023 and earlier, and hopefully
which was one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he's now 2 Tommy Johns in, so you don't know exactly what he's going to look like.
Fair.
Obviously, there is the concern of injury because if he hurts that elbow again, it's going to take him out of the lineup.
It might. It's not off the table. I think it's depending on what the injury is, but you're right.
If nothing else, even if he stays in the lineup, I think there's a more than non-0% chance he does not look like Ohtani at the plate.
Sure.
Like I think it will affect his hitting even if he plays through it.
with him, it's so hard to predict. If we were talking about human beings, sure. I don't think he is one. I think he's from wherever he came from, and I don't mean Japan. I mean like outer space, or divinely placed here by one of the baseball gods. He is not normal. And I mean that as the ultimate compliment. A normal person, if you have an arm injury, we shut it down. You go, he's not a normal person. We've seen him shut down his pitching routine, his throwing regimen, and continue to be the most dangerous offensive force at the plate many times before. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like tonight. I want to go back to something you said a second ago, AK. I always knew he'd pitch for the Dodgers. I just don't know how much he'll pitch for the Dodgers. I don't think that there was a scenario, barring a catastrophic injury, where he would never pitch for the Dodgers. It was let's get you healthy, let's build you back up, let's try to get back to what you were in Anaheim, let's try to get you back to where, because it's not additive to where, and I don't mean this as any disrespect to Tony Gonsolin, but you're not throwing a Tony Gonsolin into the rotation. You're throwing another Yamamoto in there.
Absolutely.
You're throwing a Chris Sale in there. You're throwing a Skubal. You're throwing in the very best guys in the league. That he's one of those. So you had to at least see it. I think if he goes down again, I think that may be it. That may be the point where you just say, hey, look, we've got he is an MVP level player if he doesn't throw a single pitch. So I always knew they'd run it back. I just don't know if they run it back if, in fact, he gets a sore arm.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting their money's worth from Ohtani. If he never pitched for the rest of his career with the Dodgers, he's paying for himself between his production and all the other stuff that comes with Ohtani in terms of marketing, in terms of attention. Like that contract is fine. Like, it's not like if he doesn't pitch, they don't get their money's worth. I just had always been concerned that they would, or at least suspicious, that maybe they would not risk him getting hurt again. And if nothing else, potentially getting a lesser version of him for that season.
It's a fair question. I guess the other part that we haven't really talked about, we can talk about this coming up in just a little bit, as well as what we think we might see tonight, is how much does he want to continue to do both things?
Oh, he clearly wants to.
That if it happened again, if he says, look, I'm going to rehab my arm, I do both of these things. We are not going to do one or the other. We're going to do both of these things. And if I have to rehab, and, I guess that's when the decision of, okay, am I still a 10 out of 10 offense? Do I slide down to a 6 out of 10 offense? Do I only go to they have to figure all of that out. But they have a lot of things that are working in their favor. And I cannot wait to see it tonight, and I'm not the only one. 174% increase since the announcement that Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch. And by the way, he's going to pitch an inning or two, maybe, right? That, according to TickPick, the get-in price is $140 compared to about $50 on Friday. Well, yeah. Ohtani's going to, and it's the first time in Dodger Stadium, or as a Dodger, I should say. I think he's pitched as a member of the Angels there. But
today's the day.
Today is the day. We'll talk about what we expect to see. It is also a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. Of course, we got the NBA Finals. The Thunder, even the series against the Pacers on Friday evening. We're going back to OKC tonight. Coverage begins at 5:30 on 710 and the all-new ESPN LA app, thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Please enjoy responsibly. So, what will we see from him tonight in what will assuredly be very limited duty? It's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood, carpet, and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Coverage of the 2025 NBA Finals on ESPN LA is brought to you by Chumba Casino, your favorite online social casino. Play anytime, anywhere for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Head to ChumbaCasino.com and let's Chumba.
Only available in permitted states. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday Night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. Brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region, 13 years in a row in California once again.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to ESPNLA.com and click the contest button.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time. Download the Waba Rewards app today or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, keeping it real for you.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
If you want to play in ESPN LA's second annual listener game, visit ESPNLA.com right now for your chance to secure a roster spot. You can play on my team. You can play on DeMarco's team, but you got to visit ESPNLA.com today. Thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Jorge, we did not ask you about your Father's Day.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was cool, man. Like, we postponed our trip because...
Oh, yeah, you were thinking about Santa Barbara.
Yeah, we were taking the train, so we postponed it. You know, a lot of things going down here.
Indeed.
So we just postponed it. We had kids and, somebody in a wheelchair, so we just decided to do it another weekend.
Yeah.
Watched a ton of soccer.
Okay.
The FIFA Club World Cup started,
Yeah.
so I watched a ton of it. And then just went out to the pool. We just hung out at the pool. I made some tacos. I made pastor and chicken.
You made them?
Oh, yeah. My dad's like, hey, I got extra meat. You want any? I was like, sure. He's like, we'll stop by. My parents stopped by real quick, say hi to the kids. They went going to my aunt's house, and they brought me like 2 pounds of
Did
each.
you at least get to sit on the couch and have somebody bring you tacos?
Yeah. So the kids wake up, and then, Brenda's like, hey, I'm going to make you crepes. So her and Mike started making crepes in the morning, and I had a really...
Do you go savory or sweet on the crepes?
No, we go sweet.
Okay.
They like them with Nutella, strawberries, and bananas.
Well, sure. Who doesn't like that?
Man. So we had that. I had a good breakfast. They cooked breakfast for me. And later on, I made the tacos.
Cold Modelo with the tacos?
Oh, man. One?
Yeah.
We like 6.
Negro?
No.
No?
Especial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because I know at home you sometimes go
Yeah,
negro.
sometimes I do. But now,
Right.
Brenda's like, I want some of the, just the, Modelo Especial.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and then today at 12, LAFC takes on Chelsea. So
In Atlanta, you said?
In Atlanta, yeah. So
There is nothing that warms your heart more than when your kids are little and they make you breakfast.
It's very sweet.
That is the greatest thing because they're working so far outside their wheelhouse. They have no idea what they're doing.
Well, it's charming when they're young. It's less charming when they're the age of my children. So I've
now they just look useless.
I've been holding on to this for 18 and a half minutes. I've got beef. We'll get to it. We'll get to it because I'm hopefully
teasing even more. Wow.
I just look. They're back, and so far not so good. We'll see. And they've been back for 8 hours, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes from there. We'll see.
I was telling Emily, like, you hear that Baby Shark song over and over, right? But the way it starts, it's like kind of like Jaws, right?
Yeah.
So somehow Mike is like, where'd they get that song from? And I was like, I think some of it is Jaws. Speaking of Jaws, Friday night or Friday afternoon, I put Jaws at the house with
you
my
put it on.
Yeah, and we're watching it, and
It didn't freak her out?
No, not at all. Like there's a point where somebody gets eaten, I guess. And you see a foot, like a whole leg.
Yeah.
She's like, whose leg was that? But it was cool, man. Like I made the popcorn. It's funny because we got this little couch for the kids, like this small little couch, and they're both sitting there with little popcorn buckets, and they're both just like eating their popcorn. I snapped the picture there because it's the cutest thing ever, man. Yeah, so
I think
we watched Jaws.
Scary movies change over time by what you think is scary. Because, remember, Travis, the first time you went to see a movie when that train came running at the screen and everyone had to, leave the theater because they thought the train was going to break through the screen?
Every time. Every time.
And then it goes to Jaws in 75, and then it evolves and stuff.
Number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Number 2 pick.
But we do want to hear about your Father's Day at 9:30. Let's.
We'll get there. It's not even it is not Father's Day related, believe it or not. It's more something else. But we'll get to it coming up in a little bit. So Ohtani tonight at Dodger Stadium. If you want to go see him, you're going to have to dig deeper into your pocket than you would have had you bought the tickets Friday or Saturday morning. The Dodgers said he's going to pitch an inning, maybe 2. So let's kind of start right there. What do you think that means exactly? Does that mean that he needs to breeze through the first inning? Because, again, I'm speculating here, but the Padres yesterday when they played Arizona, their 1-2-3 was Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Arraez, and Manny Machado. Those were their three really, really high-quality major league players. Do you roll him into the second if he breezes through? If he gets into 4, 5, 6, do you set him down? What do you think? Is it a pitch threshold? What does it look like? Do they want to up down him because they want to up down him as much as anything else? Or is it let's just dip our toe in here and it's 1 inning unless it's a really quick 10, 12 pitch inning?
I would like to think that if he's far enough into his physical rehab that they're doing this at all.
Yeah.
That they can treat this like it's a normal game.
Okay.
It's not a normal start in the sense that they're thinking about Ohtani going 5, 6, 7 innings.
Right.
But it's a normal start like you would treat, say, a bullpen game. And I think it's really important that they don't go in a direction that this feels, for lack of a better way of putting it, gimmicky.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Because you could start stressing out your bullpen at the early part of a week in a really difficult series. Like this series against the Padres is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's a big series.
It matters.
It does.
And if Ohtani can't pitch to a certain point, if say...
They wouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Well, I would like to think that they wouldn't be doing this. If say you start getting, 12, 15 pitches and then you sit him down, why are you doing this at all?
Yeah, I agree with you. Unless it is we're 100% sure he can pitch 2 innings, but let's just have him pitch 1. I understand your point, and I think it's a good one, and I expect him to go 2 unless that first inning goes into, maybe over 20. But I think where it gets tricky is, what if it's 18 or 19? What if it's 20? What if it's 21? Okay, could he go back out there and have a 10-pitch inning? Yeah, sure he could, and we're at 30-some-odd pitches, and that's pretty easy and manageable.
I think the context matters. Let's say, for example, it's at 21 pitches, but that's in part because there was an error.
Yeah.
And there was an extra batter on base through no fault of Ohtani's. That should have been an out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he starts looking tired, I'm not going to hold that against Ohtani. But if it's 21 pitches, but it was laboring, and you could already see him starting to look a little gassed, then I think the context in all of this matters. But I think however you view the context, you got to try to treat this as normal as possible. You know what I mean? Because the other guys out there and the rest of your staff, they are going to be affected by how you treat this.
They absolutely are. And I'm not saying that the rest are less important than Ohtani, but the rest are less important than Ohtani.
Sure.
And so you're going to his well-being, his future, and I'm not even talking future for years to come. I'm talking weeks to come, days to come, is your number one priority. If that means that you got to go to Ben Kasparius or Landon Knack or whoever it may be coming in next, a little earlier than you might want to, I'll deal with that to make sure that he's in one piece.
Right. I also just feel like if say he throws 12 or 15 pitches, that likely means things went pretty well.
Oh, sure.
So at that point, why would you not give him a second?
I think if he pitches, I think if I had to set the number, Like, and I'm just, if I just set the number, anything 18 and below is an automatic roll him again. I think anything over that, it gets into more what you're talking about where, hey, what did it look like? Did he walk 2 or 3 guys? Did he give up a hard hit ball? Was it a lot of full counts? Or was it just okay, there's a base hit, there's, a misplayed ball or whatever it may be. That's a little different. But now you're in a little bit of a different situation because starting that second inning, you're already in the 20s. If he throws another 15 or 18, now we're pushing 40.
But that to
just
me
gets
feels,
a little different.
That to me, though, to the point I was making about treating things normal.
Yeah.
If the guy you threw out there that is essentially the beginning of what would turn into a bullpen game,
mm-hmm.
if that guy is throwing 25 to 30 pitches in the first inning, you would start thinking about pulling him anyway.
True.
Like, regardless of who it is.
True.
Ohtani or anybody.
I'm calling my shot right now, by the way. He's going to hit a home run tonight, too. I really do think he's going to. Because that's what this son of a gun does. He does the thing. Like when we were out at Legends Attic, what was it, Em, a month or so ago, maybe a little bit less, and I used the phrase, he's one of those guys that rises to the occasion, and Oral pushed back on it. I think Oral's going to join us tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And he's like, I don't believe in that. He goes, I don't think they're just – the guys that are really good are the guys that stay at their level. They don't go up and down. They're constantly where they are, and that's what makes great players are always there. And I understand his point, but when you look at Ohtani, it does seem like he's got a flair for the thing. Whether it was the 50-50 game where he hits a bunch of home runs, he steals a bunch of bases, whether it's his first appearance in the Dodger spring training game, he hits a home run, that he just seems to have all right, everybody's looking, I'm going to do a thing, and hitting a home run tonight would be one of those things.
Here's where I would say you're both right. Like, I think Oral is correct that the greats stay, for the most part, at that high level, 90-ish% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But reaching that level isn't always the same. Like, the level itself can vary and can go up or down. So I think you're both right. Like, Ohtani does rise to these different levels because he's always on. Like, that's what makes him who he is and capable of rising to those moments.
All right, let's play a game here. He pitches 2 innings tonight. Okay, he's going to pitch 2 complete innings. How many guys does he strike out? I've got my number.
2.
Okay, I think it's 3.
I also was thinking 2.
Yeah. Okay, Jorge.
It's funny you said that because I was looking up Price Picks.
Yeah.
He's set for 2.5.
2. Okay, there you go. So we're all right around the number. I think he's going to be, and I get it. He's Ohtani. He's got, like we're just talking about, he's got a flair for the dramatic. He understands the moment. He's going to be jacked up when he goes out there. I know that you look at him, he's pretty staid, he's pretty chill. There's no way that adrenaline isn't going to be redlined when he goes out there today.
It's interesting, too. Like, I never really thought about this before until you brought up you phrased it as the flair for the dramatic.
Yeah.
Which I think is accurate. But it's interesting to see that with somebody whose personality is so not showman.
No, it's not.
Like in terms of his personality, like LeBron has a flair for the dramatic.
Sure.
And he rises to those moments.
Sure.
LeBron is a showman.
Yes.
Like, he clearly loves the
Is
showman.
Ohtani not? He's not flamboyant,
but
he's a showman.
He is a showman, but he's an unusual type of showman. Like LeBron, Kobe, MJ. Like Barry Bonds had a prickly personality, but is a big personality.
Oh, sure.
Like, those guys, their personality type, I think, fits more naturally with guy who has a flair for the dramatic. Like, that type of showman. Ohtani is this very understated showman, which is really unusual.
It is. How many walks?
How many walks?
How many walks?
I'm also going to say 2.
2. I think 3 Ks, 2 walks. M, walks?
1.
1. Jorge?
Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3.
2.
Yeah, 3.
What do they say over at Prize Picks?
I didn't look that one up.
Runs?
1.
M?
0.
Jorge?
I'm going to go 1.
I'm going to go 0, 2. I think we're going to get 3 Ks, 2 walks, no runs, 1 hit. I think he gives up 1 hit. I think he's going to walk a couple of guys. I think he's going to give up a hit, but I think he's also going to wipe guys out when he needs to do it.
It's 2 innings. It's not unusual for that line to be there.
No. And again, even though he's Shohei, I think his adrenaline will be high. I think he will be able to harness it mostly for the best. Keep in mind, he hadn't pitched in a major league game in virtually 2 years, so I would imagine there's at least a little bit of rust, even with the Ohtani factor factored in, that he's not normal. I would think there's still some of this, and he's pitching a good team. You got to be a little careful with some of these guys.
Who is he guaranteed to pitch to? What are the first three for the Padres?
It is Tatis, Arise, and Machado if they have the same lineup they had yesterday.
Okay, those are the guaranteed people.
Those are the three guys. That's All-Star, All-Star, All-Star. That's All-Star, batting champion, Hall of Famer. I mean, that's a lot of guys. And I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to put on a show. I think that the place is going to be rocking. Go back to that game in San Diego, what was it, last week when the series opened, and that first game had kind of a super playoff-y buzz to it. I think you're going to get that again tonight. I don't know if it lasts like 9 innings like the other one did, but I think you're going to get it tonight.
To your point, talking about who he'll be facing, if he goes 2 innings, you mentioned
Tatis, Arise, and
Machado, then it's Sheets, Bogarts, Cronenworth.
That's a very good 6-guy run.
Right, exactly, which is why I think one run could – I would say you should expect it and be ready to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think so, too. And no Merrill for the Padres. He got put on the 7-day IL. He got concussed sliding into second. That was kind of gnarly to see, but it was pretty great. All right, I got to get some stuff off my chest about what's going on in my house. That's coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? Just 9 miles from downtown LA and near the 710 freeway, it's completely reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and upgraded amenities. We're also home to California's largest card room jackpot ever, $3.7 million. New players score $30 in match play when they say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Come see what everyone's talking about.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR 001291. GAR 001292. PSIS license number 1358.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com. Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
All right, more on Ohtani in just a bit, but I gotta get this off my chest a little bit. So, I was in Santa Barbara this weekend with my folks. I celebrating Father's Day with my dad. My wife, Susan, she was up in San Luis Obispo with her brother and mom for her nephew's graduation, her mom's birthday they were celebrating. So the two of us were not together. And before we left to go to our respective weekends, we cleaned up the house. And so the house looks good, clean, put away. Or like clean the house. We both left early the next morning. It looked perfect. Basically, you guys know it doesn't happen very often where everything's where it's supposed to be. There's no dishes in the sink, no dishes in the dishwasher. Beds are made. Everything's the way it's supposed to be, right? floors vacuumed, showers clean, bathrooms clean. Perfect. And then last night, I come home yesterday afternoon, and I come home. I'm watching the U.S. Open. I'm watching a little College World Series, watching the Dodgers, make myself some lunch, make myself some dinner. But because I'm an adult who knows how to live a normal life, I clean up after myself. Do my dishes, put them in the dishwasher, clean up, wipe down the counters. Everything looks just like when I had it. Then 2 of my 3 children come home. Within a half an hour, it looked like somebody had taken my house like a snow globe and shaken it up with crap everywhere. There's food on the counter. There's dishes in the thing. There's laundry strewn throughout the entire house. And
strewn.
Thank you.
Strewn.
That's the correct usage?
I believe it is the correct.
Okay.
I just didn't expect you to use it.
I'm an educated man, Andy. We don't mess around at UC Santa Barbara and Arcadia High. We get abbreviated. Yeah, we don't get abbreviated there. And I said to him, okay, I go to bed early. They do not. It's my daughter, who's 22, or almost 22, and my son, who's 19. And I said to him, I said, hey, listen, I know you guys are happy to be home, and they brought some laundry and all these things, and they're eating because there's food in the house and whatever. And I'm like, hey, listen, before you guys shut it down for the night, make sure you clean all this up. So your mom's coming home. Susan's coming home today. I said, your mom left the house clean. I would like it to be clean when she comes back.
Do a closing shift.
Thank you, Emily. Perfectly said. Do a closing shift. I get up this morning, go downstairs. It was worse. Somehow it had gotten worse between like 9:30 and 5 o'clock this morning. I don't know what they did, but more boxes had come into the house, more laundry. There was a bag of cookies. My mom made them cookies, so there was a bag of cookies that was open with cookies on not on the counter, on the side. It looked like a flop house. And so I sent them a not exactly hostile text this morning, but a hey, let's go text this morning. Mom's going to be home this afternoon. You got to not a single response. Not hey, we're on it. We're sorry. We'll
Have you even gotten like the ...
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like I didn't send it.
Was it all caps?
No. I'm going to read you exactly what I wrote. So I don't want to oversell this. Let's see here. Wait here it is. Guys, please make sure the house is put together for your mom. She had it in ship shape when we left this weekend. It did not look like that this morning. Please get it together. Thank you. No response.
Are they still asleep?
Of course they're still asleep. It's not double digits on the clock yet. It's not
why
past
they haven't
noon.
Responded.
But
what time does Susan get back?
My guess is she will roll in there around 1 o'clock.
Okay. So you probably, if I had to guess, with their age,
they can't get it done. They won't get it done.
If they get up around 11-ish, maybe even 12, you're talking about an hour to get this done.
I could give them a week. They could have a week to get this done, and they're not going to do it.
My daughter, I have the exact same conversation about put this food away, put this dish away. We have instituted a rule about, because she's broken the remember to bring your food from your room back to the kitchen. There's no more food in her room, no more drink. Like we've told her, other than glasses of water, you are not allowed to have any food, anything consumed in your room at all. Last night, I had to remind her to put away the 2 cans of Olipop that are in her room, which by definition means she's blowing me off. Like she's absolutely not listening.
I like that when you mentioned the cans. We have the Topo Chicos, right?
Yeah.
Well, the empty bottles over there, the cap is on the other side of the room. The half-eaten sandwich with the crust and the crumbs is on. It's almost like you're doing it on purpose. Like, how much of the house can I get dirty? Like, if just the kitchen was a disaster, or just the kitchen table was a disaster, I don't love it, but I could deal with it. But they've murdered every room in the house.
Well, like, I have one of my big pet peeves, because I'm not a neat freak. Like, I like things orderly enough, and I also, my wife is a neat freak.
Yeah.
So I like it to be neat up to a certain point, just so I don't have to hear about it. But on my own, I like things orderly. I don't like them dirty, but I'm not I'm not a neat freak. But my one true pet peeve, I hate food laying around.
Yes.
Like, I hate when food lays around for a while.
It's gross.
This got exacerbated when I lived with my brother for several years.
Oh, was Brian a slob?
Brian, I used to think, and I was for a period, like in my 20s, teenager, like I was pretty messy.
Yeah, so was I.
But I did not come to realize just how much worse he was until I lived with him. Like there was a period where I remember, like, I woke up for a while when I was bartending and Brian was teaching, our schedules were the complete mirror opposite of each other. So we would sometimes go like 2 or 3 days without physically seeing each other.
Right.
Even though we were living in the same place. But I remember, like, I'd had conversations with him over and over, like, dude, put away food. And I woke up one morning and there was a block of, like, cheddar cheese sitting on a beanbag.
And it had gotten hard around the edges? Yeah.
And also, like, a banana peel next to it. And I actually called him at his school. Like, I had to go through the switchboard. I'm like, I need to talk to Mr. Kamenetsky. And they're like, is this an emergency? I said, yeah, it's an emergency. I need to talk to him. I'm like, and he's like, what's up? I'm like, I just wanted to double check. Are you hanging on to that banana peel for a particular reason, or can I toss it? Like, I was getting super passive aggressive to him in the middle of his work day.
How long did you guys live together?
We lived together, I want to, 6 years.
Oh, a long time.
It was a while.
Oh, okay.
And then once we separated, we divorced because he moved in with his then girlfriend, now wife, and I was living by myself before I met my eventual wife. I was living by myself, and I just started noticing when I was living on my own, I'm not perfect, but he was the problem.
Yeah, no,
he was the problem.
I'm not white gloving the house,
right?
But I also know when it looks like, you know, I don't even know what. Like it looked like New Year's Eve.
Right.
It's like what are we doing here? It was, you guys got home at 8:00 at night. How could you have done this much damage by 5:00 the next morning? We'll clean up. When?
When they wake up at 11 a.m.
You know what's great? I'm looking at the.
They're exasperating.
I'm looking at the YouTube chat, and from Alexander Guzman, and I think this summarizes it well. I guess we all have those kids.
Good. That makes me feel, honestly, that Alex,
it's pretty universal.
Alex Guzman, you said. Alex, I'm glad that this is a universal problem, except because here's what it's going to be. And I guess at the end of the day, this is just me being a selfish person, because here's how this is going to go. Susan's going to come home. She's going to see that it looks like crap. She's going to then say, I left this house looking a certain way, and somehow that's going to be directed at me.
Oh, of course.
Even though I'm, and not that she's blaming me for it being right, but she's going to express her frustration at the children to me, where I get to do it on the radio. I get to express my frustration to all of you.
That is a big piece of all of this, is you know that from the spouse, it's going to be directed towards me or you.
Yeah.
And we were the only ones trying to keep order.
Yes.
And it fell apart technically under our watch. And then Jorge,
but it's not under my watch. They're adults. They have to clean up after themselves.
Well, and then Jorge will understand this. When my wife gets mad about this, all of a sudden the Fabulosa breaks out.
I do like Fabulosa.
Yeah. Well, but like that's a very, very Mexican thing.
Yeah.
Purple one.
Yeah.
The purple
smells
one.
great.
It does.
Oh, it smells awesome.
It's the scent of a clean house.
I liked the after effects of the Fabulosa, but the process of the Fabulosa going down, that's tense. And very much the body language is, this is your fault.
And I think we're coming up on an Ask Andy segment.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that Ask Andy about parenting advice, Ask Andy about cleaning advice.
About Brian's slovenly existence.
Exactly. Anything like that, we'd love to have an Ask AK.
Ask him the proper usage of the word strewn.
You nailed it.
All of that is coming up. It's Ask Andy. Andy's in for DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
NextGen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. And for a limited time, NextGen is offering $500 off any whole home water purification system. You may not know it, but our water here in SoCal contains pesticides, lead, forever chemicals, chlorine, and more. Call 833-3NEXTGen. That's 833-3NEXGEN. CSLB number 1011173. NextGen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3NEXTGen.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on June 21st and 22nd. Biggest show ever! Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. CGC and JSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. More than 500 tables, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it! Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, June 21st and 22nd, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
All right, this is usually where the far side comes up. DeMarco is out today. He will be back sooner than later, hopefully in the next day or two. But that means we got an Ask Andy instead. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. AK, this is from Jason NV in the Circle of Trust. I think that's what the red circle
know who
means,
that
right?
is.
Okay, you know Jason. AK, if Alfred Hitchcock were alive today and directing in Los Angeles, which modern artist or band do you think he'd choose to score one of his suspense thrillers? Ooh. And what scene from L.A. would make the perfect eerie backdrop?
Interesting question. Off the top of my head, and I don't know if this qualifies as modern music, but, I'm not, I guess, as hip with the kids. If it's a band, the first band that came to mind to me would be like Radiohead or Tom York, maybe doing solo work. I think who he'd actually go to would be Trent Reznor.
I was going to say Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. He and his, I guess, music partner, I think his name's Atticus Ross.
Okay.
They do scores all the time. They do some of the best scores. They won an Oscar for The Social Network. As far as a scene around L.A.
Like a location, an eerie location. There's a lot, by the way.
I mean, unfortunately, you go through areas in Skid Row. There's your location if you want creepy and eerie. There's some places around in the hills that I think you could do some, a lot of literal hills, but trees around. The lighting can be interesting.
You know what's a good, and it's not inherently creepy, but it could be made to be creepy because it's actually quite beautiful, but it's an odd pocket of the city. You get these crazy, is like the Hollywood Hills, the canyons back there.
That's what I'm thinking about.
They just hills. Almost where by the observatory and all the neighborhood that's at the bottom of the canyon there by Griffith Park. That is it doesn't look like L.A. unless you're from L.A. Like if you ask somebody from Kansas City, what does L.A. look like? They'd never say that. They'd say Venice Beach. They'd say downtown. They'd say the Santa Monica Pier. But that's the part where there's wild animals. There's serial killers. Yeah. There's everything is down in that little canyon down there. All right. Jorge, you got one?
Yeah, from Christopher Holmes.
Hey, what's up,
What's up, Holmes?
This one says, if you could choose to be either a rock god or an Oscar-winning actor, what are you choosing?
Well, back when I was pursuing acting, in my head, my Oscar-winning role was going to be playing Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
I wanted to play 70s era Robert Plant, like early 70s, because you get to do all of the different stuff that often leads to winning an Oscar. I would have had to do an accent.
Yes.
I would have had to lose a lot of weight.
Yes.
Because I'm not a big guy, but 70s rock stars, and in particular Robert Plant.
Wayfish.
Not a lot of calories in heroin.
No, okay. As someone who's never had the opportunity or desire to take the needle, I would imagine it doesn't inspire a lot of appetite.
No, but it does not inspire a lot of appetite. Cocaine, another known appetite suppressant. Exactly.
Yeah.
Very low protein levels. But so I would get to do an accent. I would lose the weight. I would have to, at the time, I would have been able to, and it wouldn't have been as much of a challenge. I would have had to grow my hair out.
Okay.
But also, too, you get to do like the rock star stuff on stage.
Yeah.
So there was
best of both worlds.
There was a moment where that's what I was picturing as my Oscar-winning role. But if I had to choose one or the other, probably Rock God.
Yeah.
Rock God sounds pretty damn amazing. Plus, I grew up playing drums in a band, so I used to imagine that stuff anyway.
Rock star is one of the great jobs. Like movie star's cool, but movie star could be a lot. Rock star is a very specific gig. Yeah. That's a good one. All right, here's another one. This is from Zenken, who writes, you can only keep one TV streaming app. Which one do you keep?
Only one TV streaming?
It's a good one.
That is a pretty good one.
That is good. Probably Hulu.
Oh, because what's on Hulu that you like?
Hulu has a lot of FX shows, and there's a lot of FX. Probably more than any other network creates more shows than I like. They have a fair amount of movies. Plus, and this isn't even necessarily a cheat. This is part of the package. You end up getting like ESPN Plus. You end up getting Disney, and it's not a cheat. That is actually part of your Hulu package.
Okay.
So I would probably go with Hulu because you get more for it anyway.
That's a really good answer. I want to throw one more in there for a similar reason. There's a lot of good movies. There's original programming that when they nail it, they nail it. And there's some sports on there too, is HBO Max. Because they got NBA, they've got the hockey. They don't have baseball, I don't think. Like Apple's got the baseball. You can do that.
True.
But HBO Max has a ton of great originals.
And you get all the catalog of the old Max stuff.
You get The Wire. You get The Sopranos. You get all of that stuff too.
I'd go back and forth. I'm going to stick with Hulu, but Max is a really good call.
What do you subscribe to all of them like most of us?
Pretty much, yeah.
First one you had to cut, which one would it be? This is the easiest one for me. I don't even know why. I know why I have it because I watch it occasionally, but there's nothing that I have to have on it.
Oh, the easiest for me would be Apple Plus.
Apple Plus TV.
First of all, this is why this is why it's the easiest. I went for like a year and a half without even realizing
that you had it. Yeah,
like I do. That Apple News service that bundles all these different stuff together. Like, I do that. I did not realize that Apple Plus came with it. So I went at least a good couple years having Apple Plus without even knowing it. So clearly I can live without it.
All right. Netflix, gone. Like I watch Netflix to watch reruns of Seinfeld. Occasionally there will be something on there that will catch my fancy, but that is not the one that's churning out a bunch of stuff that I have to have.
I'm going to wait to cancel my Netflix until the final season of Squid Game drops.
Oh, okay.
I got to see how that ends.
Fair enough.
I canceled it, Brenda got it back because she
Netflix?
wanted to watch. Yeah, so I canceled it. She's like, I got it with that. I got the cheapest version of it, so it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the one that I could do without the quickest, I think. All right, let's try another one here. Let's go to Capitano Matt, who writes, your daughter wants you to take her to see an artist you've never heard of at an SRO, standing room only event. How do you handle it?
I'd go.
You'd go. No questions asked?
No questions asked. Yeah. I would want her to have those sorts of experiences. I know what they meant to me growing up. Generally, I trust her taste in music, so I'm guessing if she wants to go to this show, at minimum, I'm not going to hate it. I'm just going to hope that I don't show up to something that really is so age inappropriate that I feel like a terrible father being there, and I also look totally out of place being there.
But the thing is, you won't ever be out of place if you're attached to her. It's like people know when they go to a concert that it's like daughter, dad's there to chaperone / get her
I used to think
and
that
fro.
until I took her to a store in the Grove, Addicted. Addicted is a clothing store that caters to young women. I'm not exaggerating when I say I was one of 2 males in there at all, and the other male was a store employee, and I was the only person over 25, period. Like, I'm actually mildly disturbed that I was not removed by security.
I understand your point, what you're saying,
uncomfortable.
but I think she's right. If you're there with Lily and you're at least near her, people are going to go, oh, that's her dad. Like, that's okay. If you
when
were in
she
there
goes to
by
the bathroom
yourself,
and you have to save the spot, that's going to be
when
weird.
you got to put like the sandwich board on and say, I'm here with my daughter.
Number
She's
1
trying
dad.
on pants. Or absolutely.
Girl dad.
Emily, Travis, you're both conceptually correct. But when you're in the moment, you feel very self-conscious.
I do think that we skipped over an important detail in Capitano Matt's question. It's SRO. It's standing room only.
I can do that.
You can stand for hours on end?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see what he eats every day? He's healthy.
He is, and you are a fit man, and you eat well, but standing
might bring a back brace, but I can do
standing
it.
up for a couple of hours in a row really, truly sucks.
I can do it. That's not a problem.
I can do it. When we go on our remotes, I stand throughout the whole
So do I.
show. But the second I'm done, I want to be in traction.
Honestly, I sometimes find standing more comfortable than sitting, like for long durations. Sometimes standing for long durations, I think, is more comfortable than sitting.
All right, here's one more. Remember how Marcellus Wiley used Heinz 57 with his tacos? Do you think he accidentally grabbed a ketchup packet one day instead of taco sauce and just went with it ever since? I think that is a very likely possibility.
It feels on brand. Like, we both know Marcellus fairly well. He's a pretty eccentric dude.
Yeah.
Like, Marcellus really is one of one in terms of personality. So it is entirely possible that he landed on this by accident. It's like Columbus discovering America.
Have you ever made something or put something into something that is not supposed to be there and gone, that's not that bad? Yeah,
sure.
That has to be what that is. I was making chili one night and was grabbing spices out of the cabinet. And I meant to grab cumin and grabbed cinnamon.
Cinnamon and chili works.
It's not so bad.
You don't want to
It's
overload
not so
it, but
ba-
like a pinch or two of cinnamon and chili is actually really good.
It wasn't to the point where, I've ruined this, I got to throw it away. It wasn't my favorite thing, but you could eat it.
If you go very, very sparing, like a big pot of chili, maybe a couple pinches of cinnamon, it's actually really good.
It's not bad. Em, you got one?
I've also mixed up nutmeg and cinnamon before, and when I was making like Swedish meatballs, and it wasn't bad either. But here's one last one. I don't know if you asked it, but Culver fan asks, can he be an extra in Commander and Chimp? He doesn't care if he dies.
Are we going to have deaths in Commander and
Well,
Chimp?
I mean, it's a chimp movie. The chimp's going to go ape one time.
Well, it's a political movie about politics. Things are getting a little nutty.
Look, it's your movie, but I feel like at worst as a consultant, at best as a co-writer, perhaps. I feel like we want this to be light and breezy. I don't know if we need deaths in Commander and Chimp.
And it doesn't have to be at the hands of the Commander and Chimp. It could be the evil villain that's in another country that is destroying Culver fan.
I mean, look, yes, obviously it's a light, breezy comedy, but at the same time, it's a commentary on our politics today, on our world today. And, the world can be ugly, Travis.
It frequently can. It frequently can. Clayton Kershaw, back! Easy, everybody. Take it easy. That's next. Trav, it's Andy at 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. LA, it's time to get real. Jacob Imrani, he's the real deal. Call Jacob. He's recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars where other attorneys might settle immediately for pennies. Jacob is not afraid to fight for you. Get a partner who's committed to turning your setback into a comeback. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com. Jacob's the real deal.
Call Jacob. Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurant's protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Pacific Palms Resort, LA's Hilltop Hideaway and #1 work and play resort, provides opportunities for all travelers and locals. Enjoy restful accommodation, dine in the Red Restaurant with an expansive outside patio, or pamper yourself and relax at the spa. Hit the links at one of their 2 championship courses, the Babe and the Ike. Pacific Palms Resort is the perfect choice for a Los Angeles venue.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the industry's idea of a healthier tomorrow, where vapes are deemed safer. Never mind, they can contain cancer-causing arsenic and lead. And they're anti-aging, because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the deadliest industry can rebrand itself as your friend.
Now at CardinAlleyWayHyundai.com. With SU94 4151, $34.99 due at signing plus tax. License $85 doc fee and registration. No security deposit. 10,000 miles per year. Offer expires 7/7/2025.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason in Ireland is next at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really rough team. I have no idea how Cappy ended up with a team. And by the way, I like every person individually on his team. They just aren't good at softball.
Do you not like somebody individually on your team?
Yeah, there's one person there.
The OGs of LA Sports Talk.
Mason in Ireland on 710. Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason in Ireland.
Wait, I don't know what chamoy is, though.
It's a sweet and sour, salty, spicy Mexican candy.
Yeah, I've had chamoy many times.
Okay. It's a sauce, but they put it in candy. Like margaritas, too, and maybe micheladas.
So it's not what Michael Jackson would say. No. That was chamoy.
Chamoy. That's
Put that on there.
That's
I knew
chamoy.
you were going to say that, Cap.
No,
I knew
you
it.
know Cappy's right.
Chamoy.
Sedano and Cap weekdays at 3 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Andy Kamenetsky in for DeMarco Farr today. Also, ESPN LA 710 and Children's Dental Fun Zone present the T-Ball Tee-Off part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday Night, happening July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Kids ages 7 to 12 can swing big and be part of the All-Star action. Sign up now at ESPNLA.com. Click on the T-Ball Tee-Off card and find the sign-up in your designated age group. Children's Dental Fun Zone, sparkling smiles, happy kids. Are you ready for one bonus?
Yeah,
Ask
let's
AK?
do this.
Has your child ever called you a boomer? That's from Rich A.
No, she's never. I don't think she's ever called me a boomer, and I think all parents of kids roughly my daughter's age, she's 14, you can relate to this, get called bro all the time. She calls everybody bro. She calls my wife bro. Everybody's bro.
Can I ask a specific question?
Sure.
Is it bro or bruh?
Bro.
Okay, because I get a lot of bruh.
No, it's more bro than bruh.
Yeah.
That just started at my house. My dad's like, I'm like, are you going to pick up your room? Hey, yeah, give me a minute, bro. I was like,
all
whoa.
kids their
It's
age
funny. It's just,
refer to everybody as bro, men or women,
Kelly,
boy or girl.
Kelly is bruh. Michael is bro. I don't know if it's gender specific
So
or
you're
what.
going to text back from your kids, yeah, we got it, bro.
No, they've done nothing.
They're not awake yet, Travis.
Emily, I understand, but I want my simmering hostility towards them to wake them up from this distance away. I want that dad thing to go off in their head like, hey, this is gonna bother him. We should
Why
probably
don't
get
you
up and
call
do this.
the eldest in a break and just see if he answers?
Well, he's not there.
Oh, I thought you said all the kids.
No. Bobby's at home in Philly. It's just Kelly and Mike. So Bobby is off. By the way, and we've done a 180 on this. He used to be #1 offender with this stuff. He is by far the most conscientious.
I think that comes with living on your own and also living with his girlfriend. I think helps with both of those things.
It doesn't hurt. That's for sure. That doesn't hurt. Kershaw was great on Saturday night. Before we talk about the good part about Kershaw, and we will, can I have a baseball soapbox moment for a second? baseball's got a real problem that position players are pitching twice a week. That's stupid, man. Like when it would happen once or twice a year, oh, cool, look, Kike Hernandez is pitching an inning. Kike Hernandez pitched 2 1/3 innings earlier in the week and then came in and pitched in the 9th inning of a game on Saturday night and was so bad that they actually had to put a real pitcher in to finish off the game because San Francisco put in one of their position players at the end that was a joke. Miguel Rojas is hitting home runs off of, I don't even know where that guy was, like the second baseman or what. Once in a while, it was twice a week?
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I tweeted out during that because I happened to be watching that game. I was like, I realize that it's top of the 9th, 2 outs, but if Kike gets into any more trouble, Dave Roberts may have no choice but to put in Miggy Rojas.
Now, that would have been funny, but it's, again, you need to be able to quit after the 7th inning. I strongly believe that. But number 2, this idea of having a position player pitch frequently, you have way too many games that are. The Dodgers and Giants played a 3-game series between 2 teams that at one point in the series were tied for first place. You had 1 game that was interesting. The other 2 were garbage baseball games. That's bad for the sport.
Look, I'm a weirdo. I'm very amused when Kike or Miggy or a position player goes in there because to me, it's such a long season. I don't care if things like that happen over the course of the year. Like, is it a bad game? I guess if you're a baseball purist, sure. But at the same time, you get plenty of bad games throughout 162 games. That's baseball. So for me, I actually find it amusing, particularly guys like Kike and Miggy who really lean into the theater of it and they try to make it fun. But to me, what this does get back to, and this is one of your pet peeves with pitching in the modern era now, this is the byproduct of having to save your bullpen guys because everybody's getting hurt all the time because everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour on every single pitch.
Yeah, yes to that. And like, again, I know I feel like a grouch even complaining about it, but I don't mind it. But when it happens twice in 4 days, that's stupid. It's not novel anymore. It's not charming. It's just a guy with a stupid hat throwing lob balls at major league hitters. I don't want to watch these guys take batting practice.
By the way, the scouting report on Kike, all curveballs. He very clearly is working on his curveball while he's out there.
You had 3 position players pitch in 1 game. That's dumb. The guy that did pitch, Kershaw, and pitched not just well, very well, borderline in a different way, but kind of vintagey Kershaw. Now, he wasn't lighting up the radar gun the way he used to, wasn't wiping out a bunch of guys' strikeouts the way he used to, but he pitched deep into the game and gave up no runs.
Okay, now, first of all, he's on your system.
Yeah.
This is what you've wanted from
many
Kershaw
years.
for many years, and necessity happened to dictate it this year. Like, there was no choice other than him starting later in the season, but you've been saying for a couple of years now, just have him start pitching
now
in June.
Yeah.
Like, have him take the first couple months off, have him start in June, because you know at this age, he only has X amount of starts in him. Why burn those in April and May? But Kershaw's never going to agree to that because that's not how he's wired.
No.
But also, you have to appreciate Kershaw because as somebody who hates the era of everybody throwing 100 miles an hour, all gas, no precision, command is how he's going to survive now.
He was terrific. And again, the Giants are a really good team, and he locked him up. So it was a tremendous, tremendous outing for him. I thought he was funny when he was on TV yesterday, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. He went on with the Sunday Night Baseball. He's amazing. But he goes, yeah, all it took was me getting 11 runs of support, and I'm really good. It was funny. It's a good joke. It's also true. That this is one of these things that I was looking at the Twitter and everything else as everybody's talking about. It's like, oh, he's been like, guys, hold on a second. He can attack the strike zone like this because he has a 4-run lead, an 8-run lead, a 9-run lead. You're not worried about getting in trouble when you have a nice big fat cushion like that. The far more impressive game to me was the game he pitched in St. Louis, the game before that, where the game was far more competitive and a bad pitch or two could have put him in a tricky spot. That Clayton Kershaw throwing 88 miles an hour with a 10-run lead is going to work every single time because of what you said, Andy. He is that smart. He's that good. He's that capable of locating his pitches to the point of he's going to get a bunch of guys out when he doesn't have to worry about a mistake or two changing the game. If that game were 2-1 instead of 9-0, let's see. And I'm very very pleased that he pitched well, but my enthusiasm only went so far considering the circumstances.
You know what's crazy, though? That game that we're talking about, the 11-5 win on Saturday, he went 7 full innings.
He was great.
One of 2 Dodger pitchers who've gone 7 innings. It was him and Yamamoto.
I know.
One each.
By the way.
Yeah, I know. Yamamoto, he might be getting some rest soon.
Yeah.
Might be getting a few days off.
ERA in April, about 1. ERA in May, about 2.5. ERA in June, about $6 billion. He's been getting clobbered in June.
But Kershaw, though, ever since that first start, and that first start was rough, ever since then, he's looked pretty good.
You feel good about him taking the ball in a game that matters? I'm asking. I don't.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know
Fair,
at his
it's a good answer.
I don't know how much longer at his age he can keep this up.
That's a very good answer.
I'll put it this way. If the playoffs began tomorrow, I'd feel really good about it. But
really?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
because
I would not.
Because it feels like he's...
Come on, Grinshaw.
So good.
It feels like he's still in a zone right now of the arm's going to hold. I feel like the arm will... I feel like he's got a good month before I need to worry. I'm not saying that it's going to keep... I'm not saying the arm's going to fall off. I'm not saying that it's going to hang in between now and October. I'm just saying I feel like he's got a good month in him.
I hope
if the playoffs started tomorrow, I'd feel pretty good.
I hope so. I would cross my fingers and close my eyes and grit my teeth because his margins are still really small. And when you start playing really good teams with very high stakes where a hit or especially an extra base hit can really kind of swing a game one way or the other, and I know he had a 7 strikeout game the other day where he was really good, but there's not a ton of swing and miss left in what he's doing. I don't know. Now, what you said, I think, is interesting, and that's part of the reason that Ohtani is going to pitch tonight, is what other options do you have? Yamamoto is still your best guy, but he's looked really human over the last couple of games. He looks tired. He looks spent. I don't know anything. I'm just saying get ready for him to be shut down for a period of time. Sasaki might not be coming back at all. Emmett Sheehan is around the corner, but your options are relatively thin at this point.
You know, it's funny. When I was watching Kershaw over the weekend, it got me thinking about his whole career, and it took me to YouTube to find the clip of him in spring training with that curveball when Vin Scully says, "Oh, he broke off public enemy number 1."
Yeah, so
and
good.
you hear in Vin Scully's voice, like Vin Scully, who's seen a lot of baseball, seen a lot of baseball over the years. Even he's like, holy bleep. I didn't know that pitch was pitchable.
There's a clip I saw the other night, and I wish I could remember who the hitter was, but it was a hitter who was new to the major leagues, but became a very good major leaguer. But it was one of his first at-bats in the big leagues, and it was against Clayton Kershaw. Gosh, it's going to bother me. But this is not just some guy who came up and went. He stuck, and he was good. And Kershaw threw him that curveball, and he basically ran out of the batter's box, and it dropped in there. He goes back into the dugout, and you can see him looking at his teammates. He goes, "What the was that?" And you could read, and he had this big smile. So it's like, I've never seen anything like that before. Like, I don't even know what I just saw. And so you're comparing him against the best version of himself, public enemy number 1. But it just, I don't know, man. I know he's pitched really well the last 2 times, but I am not fully on board with the Kershaw-assance.
I will find that clip and tweet it out at Cam Brothers. Like, it's great, A, just to see the pitch, because the pitch is nasty, but B, Vin's reaction to this pitch is fantastic.
They showed it last night on Sunday Night Baseball. Kershaw's first ever Major League strikeout, oddly enough, struck out Skip Schumacher, who was the manager of the Marlins last year, a former teammate of his, UC Santa Barbara Gaucho. And Kershaw looks like a kid, because he was. But it's like, oh my God, that we're going back that far. That's how long he's been around. He's wearing number like 73 or so. It was just bizarre.
I did an
54.
54, yeah.
Oh, I believe in the public enemy number 1, he's wearing a 96.
Yeah, incredible.
Incredible. I years ago, I don't even remember what the assignment was for ESPN, the magazine. I had to interview a bunch of like the Gatorade high school athletes of the year in different sports. Kershaw was the baseball guy.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got that one right.
Yeah.
They got that one
pretty
right.
much nailed that one.
So what happens for him next? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN. Going to see my pals from Rotolo Chevrolet tonight, as a matter of fact. Going to see my pal Eddie from Rotolo. And this is what Rotolo does. They just make people feel great about your purchase from Rotolo Chevrolet, about the customer service you get at Rotolo Chevrolet, about the pricing at Rotolo Chevrolet. Just day after day, year after year, Rotolo Chevrolet knocks it out of the park. 13 years in a row, Dealer of the Year. So if you've been thinking about a Silverado, and why not? They're amazing. If you've been thinking about a Chevy car or truck, get on out to Rotolo Chevrolet. It's in Fontana. It's right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit. Can't miss it. Right there, all the Silverados, every make, model, and color that you can think of. And go find for yourself what all the fun is about. Go see why Mike Capozio is dancing on TV. Go see why everybody is thrilled with their purchase from Rotolo Chevrolet. Transparent, courteous, upfront. You're going to feel great. And if Fontana's, man, Trav, that's kind of far. That's cool. RotoloChevy.com. ROTOLO. RotoloChevy.com. So you don't have to go in. You can go online. You can get that same great experience no matter where you are, whether it's in the store, in Fontana, Rotolo Chevrolet, or Rotolo.com. Either way, make sure they know that Travis sent you.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
You know it's a big deal when we're still talking about what's coming up next during the breaks, that we're still talking about Ohtani, we're still talking about Kershaw, and Giants made a big trade yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. A little leftover Ask AK. You ready for another one?
Sure.
Andy, you're a music guy. If you had to choose 3 genres of music to listen to the rest of your life, what are you picking?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, rock is a cheat because rock basically
covers a lot of things.
It can cover everything, so I'm going to cheat.
Okay.
I'm going to take rock.
Yeah.
I'm going to take jazz.
Okay.
I'm going to take funk, which also covers a lot of ground.
Did you know that Ryan Gosling saved jazz?
I saw that movie.
La La Land.
Thank God. Where would we be without
we hated Ryan Gosling.
I hate that criticism of it. Like, it's based on...
I know.
Yeah, like, it's not... I hate that criticism.
Did you like that movie?
I did like the movie, but the idea that, like, Ryan Gosling was either white-splaining jazz or, like, white savior saving jazz. Like, it's not really
Jazz
what the
is
movie
dying.
was.
I like that movie.
Jazz has been dying.
It looked pretty.
It's a really good movie. I liked it, but also
I like pretty things.
Damien Chazelle, who directed the movie, I believe wrote the movie, he actually spent time in a music conservatory. Like Whiplash is based in a lot of ways on his time in a jazz music conservatory. Like
every movie he's done has incorporated percussive instruments and music to a high level.
Yeah.
Babylon.
Like
La La
this is
Land.
actually a world that he knows.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I liked Whiplash, except for it made me tense for 2 hours. I don't like. I know that everybody goes to movies for different reasons. That is the exact reason I do not go to a movie. I want to go in there and come out feeling light and breezy and fun.
My daughter just discovered Whiplash. She's obsessed.
It's a great
with
movie.
It's an amazing movie.
It's a great movie, but the whole time you're like, this is going to end bad. Something bad's going to happen.
And his
it's a lot.
Next movie apparently is the Evel Knievel movie. I think Leo's in it, or at least was attached at one point in time. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. I know you know these things. What is your familiarity, both Jorge and Em, with Evel Knievel? Like, what does that name mean to you?
He jumped a bunch of cars and wore kind of like an Elvis outfit.
Okay, that's your understanding of who
Forget
he
the
was.
cape, Emily.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Elvis outfit. It has a cape attached to it, and it looks a little bit like Elvis. And that
It's like a cross between Elvis and Captain America.
But he's kind of like not like Mr. Beast, but it's like the who's the guys that try to get all the things in? The YouTubers.
Dude Perfect?
He's Dude Perfect for your generation.
What about you, Jorge?
Yeah, he's a stunt guy trying to break record after record and always try to go one above whatever he did last.
He was a legit phenomenon in the 70s.
Yes.
Evel Knievel was like a real event.
What a name.
He was one of the most famous Americans for a period of time. Like, he was as famous as any athlete, right? Like, you could, who's maybe not LeBron James, like internationally famous, but he was as well known as you could possibly be. He would frequently nearly die, not just crash on his motorcycle and break his arm or his leg, but like be near death. And he was a horrible person, like a really, truly miserable guy, and never really stopped being a miserable guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the non-comedic version of Jackass.
Yeah.
Because like those Jackass
Very self-serious.
Yeah, like, but the Jackass, the thing that makes Jackass work is these guys are at minimum risking getting hurt, in reality always getting hurt. Evel Knievel was constantly risking death.
Yes. Death.
Like true death.
Yes. And nearly died on multiple occasions. And they would, him jumping school buses like you're talking about, or the Snake River Canyon, or any of the stunts that he would try were massive events, like a World Series or
Emily,
a Super Bowl. They
you
were
mentioned
huge.
Mr. Beast. Like, in a lot of ways, there is a Mr. Beast, watch me do blank quality to him. Like, just attention economy, I'm seeking it all out.
One other thing. Toys.
Yes. The wind-up motorcycle.
The wind-up motorcycle where you'd put, and there was a plastic Evel Knievel like doll, action figure, whatever you want to call it. You'd clip it into this plastic motorcycle, and you would turn this crank, and then you would hit the button, and it would take off, and it would do this. And the whole point was to launch him off of the motorcycle, so it would go clattering along the sidewalk, and you could say, "Oh yeah, that's where he broke all of his legs."
It's what
that was
Kaboom
the toy
is based off of in
Yes,
Toy Story 4.
Yes, absolutely.
But that was a real guy who would kaboom himself on real TV.
There's a documentary on him I saw a few years back, and that's how he learned most of his story.
Fascinating individual.
And Damien Chazelle will do a good job with it if it comes to be.
So Leo's going to play him?
I don't know if Leo's playing Evel Knievel. I think that the two names that have been attached in some way, shape, or form is Adrian Brody and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I could see either one of them as Evel Knievel. Leo might be a little old for it at this point.
But so would Adrian Brody.
Yeah, true. But yeah, maybe. I got to meet him a few times, Evel Knievel, and spent some time with him, like multiple hours, and was a tough hang. Like not. But I don't. I'm like, he wasn't a good guy. I'm not trying to pretend he was. He wasn't. But a deeply interesting, odd, compelling individual. And was really good at telling stories. He could barely walk. He could barely move. It was a thing.
While we're on movies, for one more quick second, I sent you guys both the Naked Gun reboot trailer in full, starring Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. What do you guys think? Did you guys like the original?
Very much.
The original's funny. The original's very funny. I like Liam Neeson. Like I think Liam Neeson is a really good actor. He does not seem comfortable doing comedy.
I'm not even. I agree with you. You have a more astute eye on the individual performances. I'm just saying, I saw the trailer and there was one scene that made me go. The rest of it was that supposed to be funny? Because it wasn't.
Is he supposed to be self-serious? Like, is the original, the main guy, like a self-serious guy, like acting straight, but it's a funny movie?
Yes, it was the buffoon who didn't know he was a buffoon. That was the Frank Drebin character. This, other than when he shoots the gun in the restaurant to empty the bathroom because he needs to use it.
I thought you'd like that part.
That was funny because everybody's had that, I need to get to the front of the line, but the rest of it was, first of all, it was the same joke from the other movies, only less well executed, and I've seen it already. I don't see anything, so I'm not going to say I'm not going to see it, but it did not feel like something I got to go run out and see.
The difference, I think, between Liam Neeson and Leslie Nielsen is Leslie Nielsen, in a lot of ways, was sending up his own persona. Like guys like him and Lloyd Bridges when they were in Airplane, Peter Graves, Robert Stack, like they had been known as very serious actors. So it was kind of sending up their own personas when they're in this silly movie, but acting.
Liam like that?
The difference, though, is Liam seems to me in this like he's trying to be funny, whereas Leslie Nielsen wasn't trying to be funny. He was allowing the circumstances surrounding him to be funny. Liam looks like he's actually trying to be funny.
Yeah.
The tone seems off.
It does. It seems like a parody of it as opposed to another one of them.
Also, too, like Naked Gun, first of all, Naked Gun began as a TV show called Police Squad.
Which was great.
It was funny. And also, it was a parody of a very specific genre and a specific thing, whereas this looks like a remake of a movie that was a parody. Like you're starting to get into what are we doing territory.
Exactly.
Seth MacFarlane is the producer, so maybe it's a better movie than the trailer, but
maybe.
Who knows?
Look, if it comes out and people come back, hey, it's good. I'm not a hard out for sure, but I'll be slow to see it. Which
you still haven't seen not Swing. It's not called Swing. Stick.
Stick. No. No, it's on my list. It's not I won't see it, but it may be 2029 before I call you one day and say, hey, I remember when you told me to see Stick?
I just need to make sure I pitch you on Apple TV shows whenever the Dodgers are back on Apple TV broadcasts.
That's a good idea.
Yes, I know that you have the service.
I do. Well, by the way, I only have it for another couple of months, and then I got to fire. I got to fire.
Why I want you to watch Stick.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, you're right.
I just got a great tweet from Bob at Culver.
I was going to ask you about this because I don't know music.
Right. When I was asked the three genres I would pick, and I went very wide to try to cheat in a lot of ways. I said rock, jazz, and funk. He said, just say Steely Dan.
Is that accurate?
A very big combination of all three elements are in Steely Dan.
Did you watch the Yacht Rock documentary?
No, I have not, but I've actually interviewed the originators of Yacht Rock.
Oh, okay.
They were on our old ESPN podcast.
Okay.
Like two of the guys who helped create the genre back when they made it was a thing called Channel 101. It was like in the very early days of YouTube.
Okay.
And they did these sketches where one of them was playing like Michael McDonald, one of them was playing Kenny Loggins.
They are featured in the documentary.
Yeah. Oh, they have to be. They created the genre.
They're in it. It's really, and I'm not even doing a bit here. You know my feeling on, like, I listen to music. I like music, but I don't have an educated ear. I either like it or I don't like it. It's as simple as that. And I knew nothing about the genre. I knew who the artists were, but I didn't know anything about them really. It's terrific. It is absolutely terrific. And there's a very funny Steely Dan thing at the very end of it that makes me think.
When you say jazz and funk, there's a scene, Emily, you might know this one from Robots, the animated movie. At the end of the movie, Robin Williams' character says, hey, they started to play music towards the end for the credits. He's like, well, what is this? And he says, it's a fusion of jazz and funk. I call it junk.
Perfect.
When you say that, it reminds me of that.
Well, I thought you were going to reference the Bee movie where Jerry Seinfeld's character, the Bee, goes, you like jazz?
I missed the Bee movie.
Did not see that one.
They saved the rose parade, man. They saved the roses.
I missed the bee movie.
A human woman falls in love with a bee as Jerry Seinfeld. So you have to have the idea that
you got to go in with a certain mindset.
Yeah, that a human woman would fall in love with a bee that is talking to me.
What kind of job does the bee have? Does he make a lot of money?
And
I'm going to say it's not Jerry Seinfeld's weirdest relationship. I'll just say that.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? All right, little factor cap coming up. I want to get into that Rafael Devers trade as well. And if Desmond Bain is worth 4 first-round draft picks, does that mean that the Lakers can get a whole nother franchise for Austin Reeves? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Hey guys, what's up? It's George Sedano. Waiting is never fun. Usually nothing good happens when you wait. My friend Jacob in the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie want to make sure you don't wait after an accident. Immediately after an accident, before talking to the insurance company, call Jacob, man. Jacob and his team will do all the work, make all the phone calls, handle the paperwork, set up the doctor's appointments, whatever the case may be. And when you speak to the insurance company first, it's a big mistake. Because you know why? They may later use your words against you. However, Jacob and his team, they'll guide you through the process, get you the compensation you deserve, and you don't have to pay Jacob unless he wins. Nothing out of pocket. Free. Gratis. So if you're injured in an accident, the first name, the first thought, the first call should be Jacob. Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. The consultation is free. That's right. Free. I told you. Gratis. Don't wait. Call Jacob 24 hours a day at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Call him 844-24-JACOB or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Ready for a delicious escape? The New Islands Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com.
Go! Oh, well. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a portable 9-band radio with flashlight when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 23rd.
Number 2.
Drew Baldridge, July 24th.
And the number 1 reason.
We're lighting up the sky at the Summer Bash. Celebrate the start of summer with a dazzling fireworks display. The 27th at 9 p.m.
Morongo. Good times.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, where vapes are anti-aging. Because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke.
$67.59. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time. Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap right now.
Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys.
Aloha.
Ahoy, hoy.
So, something went a little bit viral over the weekend in regards to the NBA Finals, and it wasn't having to do with play on the court necessarily, but our teammate, Stephen A. Smith, was caught on video/camera from fans behind him in the stands in Indianapolis of him while game is happening, while the play is happening, not just in timeouts, that he is playing solitaire and that he is was really into that game. So my statement is, you care that Stephen A. Smith was on solitaire during the game. Travis Fetter Cap.
Cap. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit, for a variety of reasons, but let me put this one at the top. I think almost all of us are doing many things at once and can keep track of many things at once. And when one thing, we can be looking at one thing with another thing going on over here, and I'm looking at this, and then I'm looking over there, and then all of a sudden something important happens over there, and I turn my head 5 degrees, and I'm fully locked in here. That it could appear that your full attention is on, in this case, a solitaire game, where it's not. It just happens to be the thing you're kind of staring at for 5 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute or so, and then the important thing is going over there. That's one of many reasons I do not care, that we are all staring at multiple things at the time.
And sometimes you just can't quit a solitaire game.
Sometimes you got all of the, you got all the cards turned over the way that you need them. And the other thing is, I do what you want to do, dude. If you don't think he knows basketball, if you don't think that he's paying attention and you don't want his analysis, then don't listen to him. Okay, I mean, you have that option, this outrage of, he's not even watching. Okay, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but then don't listen.
Andy?
I'm going Cap in terms of, do I actually care? I do not care. I will say, though, it is a bad look for Stephen A. to get caught doing that. And what I will say is, you talked about how we all multitask. We all do. But where you multitask matters.
Agreed.
And I think Stephen A. should have been more aware of the idea of, I'm in a building with like thousands of phones with cameras. Someone is going to catch me doing this. If he was doing this in his home, then I would say, stars, they're just like us. Because this is what everybody does while we take in everything. He probably should be, though, more aware of his surroundings.
You're right. But I keep coming back to this with I can't tell you how many times I just pick up my phone and mindlessly open something without actually even consciously considering what it is that I'm doing. And it could be that.
You don't just fall backwards into a game of solitaire. Like, he's aware of what he's doing.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Solitaire takes work.
I have a lot of things on my...
Well, no, I mean, my wife plays solitaire all the time.
So do I. But there will be times where you just... I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing.
But like, similar to what Jerry Seinfeld once said about, like, you don't just wake up or like, you don't just end up somewhere and having sex. This isn't
Cinemax.
Like, you don't just all of a sudden have a solitary game being played. You have to actively decide to play solitaire.
I guess so.
Jorge?
Sorry, I was playing poker. I got the app right here.
So you weren't paying attention, just like Stephen A. No, that's okay. We all do our jobs.
Who cares?
In the grand scheme, it's fine.
What I miss about solitaire is when you finish the game, the cards would pop up like that, right? So it never fills up the screen.
I know.
There's always a corner or something.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so...
I prefer hearts, by the way, on my phone rather than solitaire.
All right, old man.
Try to shoot the moon every time.
Pope Leo, on his Pontifex account, which is his X account on Twitter, he tweets as the Pontificate.
He's on X?
Yep, as the Pope. He said this yesterday. In our competitive society, where it seems that only the strong and winners deserve to live, sports also teaches us how to lose. It forces us in learning the art of losing to confront our fragility, our limitations, and our imperfections. It is through the experience of these limits that we open our hearts to hope. Athletes who never make mistakes, who never lose, do not exist. And, we've seen him at a White Sox game, we've seen him in a White Sox hat, but this is the most obvious sign that he was a White Sox fan, that he's saying,
losing
sports teaches
character.
you how to lose. Andy, this is the most clear sign that he is a true White Sox fan.
I mean, other than the fact that he's been photographed in White Sox gear all the time. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he understands the culture and what you have to deal with as a White Sox fan. you got to be able to hang with some losses because it's all they do.
Travis?
Yeah, it's fact. That's the best indication yet that he's been living the real White Sox life for a period of time. But like Andy said, there's a picture of him, not even a picture, like a video of him at the World Series when they beat the Astros that year, just as a face in the crowd, basically, that they happened to settle on. I mean, clearly the Pope needs to get up to speed on how many rings do you have?
He's not part of rings with a Z culture.
How many? The White Sox, how many only one ring? It's so
And I'm sure he would say the same thing after they had that terrible season last year, which it may be beaten this year. Who knows?
He's right in this case.
In the case of the Pope, though, with the ring you have to kiss, he would say one ring's enough.
And he's got the hat. I like the hat. I want the hat more than the ring.
Jorge.
Yeah, I'm with the guys. Yeah, sports is just there's two sides to that coin. You know, there's the winning side and the bad side. And if you watch the third episode of that Dodgers one, they show you some of the losing side. And
don't worry, he's not going to watch
it. He'll get to it.
We'll see.
He'll watch it if you tell him to.
I've got a few months of Apple Plus TV left. We'll see if I get to it.
Apple TV Plus. So I think that this is I think it's generally a good thing to think about when you approach life in sports. Is that sports do show you that not everything goes your way. Most of the time,
Very
unless
true.
I don't know, you're a Dodger fan. So
may I remind you of the Frank McCourt era? May I remind you of Arizona and San Diego and all these other, like, I know they won it last year, but until then we were complaining about the fact that they never won it.
Next thing is Will Smith.
Actor?
Yes, the actor. He came out yesterday and talked about his experience of passing up on Inception. He said that he passed up on the Leo role in Inception because he couldn't understand the pitch. So Nolan came and pitched it to him. Will Smith couldn't figure it out or couldn't place together how it would work, and so then he passed on the project, which I can understand. Inception's a hard thing to control. Other things he has passed up on that are turned into incredible movies, so including Inception, Django Unchained, and Matrix. He could have been in all three of those movies. You would think of Will Smith differently if he took those roles. Andy Fettercap.
Quite possibly. Fact. I mean, depending on the performances that he gave in those movies. Like, I'm assuming he was talking about the Django role, Jamie Foxx's.
Yeah, it would have been Jamie Foxx.
Right. That would have been a really, really interesting and different role for Will Smith. If he had been Neo in The Matrix, you're talking about an entire franchise that he could have been a part of. If he had been in Inception, who knows if he ends up part of the Nolaverse, because Christopher Nolan uses a lot of the same actors over and over. And also Will Smith, I think over the last 10 to 15 years, like, I know it includes an Oscar, but I think if you look overall the last 10 to 15 years, his career's been kind of up and down, and I don't think he's chosen projects as well as he did in the early and middle parts of his career.
Like Wild Wild West.
For example. So, I think if he had been in... Very often, like, your career is dictated by the stuff that you're in. And the more successes you're in, critical, commercial, both, it dictates the type of projects that you get moving forward or just what you choose to follow up with.
For Travis, same factor cap, but also, have you ever said no to something that turned out to be successful that you just didn't get in the inception? Like, someone pitched you, hey, here's this investment opportunity, and then you said no, but then it turned out to be huge.
I'm sure if I gave it some thought, yeah, but nothing that was offered to me that I said no that was a smash hit that I could have made a lot of money on or anything like that. But no, I don't. Will Smith, like Andy mentioned, has made some movies that were clunkers, but most people have. Very few people have an IMDb that's just nothing but hit. There's some misses. I think you would think of him differently, but only a little bit, because Will Smith is a really good actor.
He is a good actor.
So if you put him in a good role with talented people around him that are making good movie, Will Smith's going to do a good job. He's a good actor. I know he kind of went off the deep end with, of late with the slap and all that other stuff, but Will Smith is a good actor. So if he showed up in The Matrix as Neo and it was awesome, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Jorge?
Yeah, I'm with Travis. He's a good actor, and I can't believe he passed on a Nolan movie, though. Like, it's just one of those things.
Wouldn't you just trust him?
Nolan wasn't the same thing that he is now.
Yeah.
In 2006, when they made that, it was not the same.
And also, too, like, to Will Smith's point, explaining Inception probably was very complicated. And Will Smith's like, I don't understand what you're going to be doing. I can't picture it. Like, Mad Max Fury Road, it was known as a difficult production because what they're doing, like, the scale of it is unbelievably difficult. And by multiple accounts, including their own, Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy really clashed in part because they could not understand what they were making. And both of them have said, like, once they saw the movie, they had a lot of arguments with George Miller as well, including each other. Like, there was a lot of tension on that set. And then they saw the movie and they apologized to George Miller. They're just like, this is amazing, but we can't see it while it's happening.
All right, so one last thing for you guys. I've seen both this idea of AMC has Screen Unseen, where you can just sign up to go see a movie, but you don't have any idea what the movie is going to be. But then also, I've been seeing this thing on my TikTok of these people. You get an entire vacation plan for you by this travel company where you have no idea where you're going. They tell you, hey, here's the weather, how to prepare, how many days, and roughly that stuff. So you're not unprepared. Like, you don't bring a swimsuit to Italy, but you get to the airport, have no idea where you're going. You would be able to do something like this where you just have no idea, but here you go. Travis, Fetcher Cap.
Cap, it's really an interesting idea. It really, truly is, and it sounds like it would be fun and exhilarating and exciting, but the problem is I don't take enough vacation to throw it open to somebody else's idea of what I might like. If I take a couple of weeks off a year, I have something very specific in mind that I want to accomplish. I want to go do X, Y, or Z, not just hey, show me something cool. So if I were retired, if I had a lot more money and I could take vacations more frequently, just kind of throwing one to the, dealer's choice would be kind of interesting.
Andy?
Cap. Absolutely, Cap. Like, for a lot of what you were talking about, I only get so many vacations a year.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's what I want to do. But also, too, it'd be one thing if, say, my wife or some close friends planned a surprise vacation.
Yeah.
I would trust that they would know what I want. Some service that's basically going off like a questionnaire and algorithms, no, I'm not trusting them to land on what I want.
Jorge?
Oh, heck yeah. Some of those trips turn out to be some of the best ones. Where you just go unplanned.
Or the worst.
Or the worst. But if it's a company who's doing the whole package for you, they know what they're doing. They're going to send you to a cool spot, and you're going to make something good out of that.
For instance, they could come up with this incredible itinerary where you're going to be in Paris one day, you're going to be in Zurich the next day, you're going to be in Berlin. I don't want to do that. I want to be in one place.
See, like that, okay.
I don't want to have to repack my bag.
I think you probably could to do that. I want to have one location, one hotel stay.
But now we're getting closer to I'm calling the shots. This isn't hey, you got me for a week. Do your worst. I don't want to move.
Too, okay, when you mention you go to Zurich one day, you go to Paris one day, you go to to some people that would sound great. To my wife, that would sound awful.
It does sound awful.
The idea of she would feel rushed. Like, my wife and I often, when we plan vacations, we have to find certain compromises because, when we've gone to Mexico, we've gone a few times, Playa del Carmen, she could spend the entire 7 days just sitting on the beach doing nothing. I will get bored doing that after a day or two, and then I'm we could have just done a staycation in Malibu.
Yeah.
I want to do some excursions where we swim with turtles or go snorkeling, things like that. So we have to compromise these things out, but if the service just planned we go to 7 cities in 6 days, that would be a miserable vacation for us.
No, I gotta have my hand on that. Would you do that, Em?
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
I like having someone else take the planning out of my hands.
Well, yeah, I don't want to do the planning. I just want to be able to veto the planning.
Right.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oversee the planning,
Yeah.
but let somebody else do the work.
We're going here. No, we're not. we're going to stay here. What else you got? I like where we're going. Don't like where we're staying. Oh, that's it.
That said, though, Emily, you're correct. Planning vacations is a lot of work.
Oh,
man.
Lot
of work.
That's why you just want to. No. Yes, that
Okay,
sounds
Caesar.
good. I like it. Factor Caps brought to you by the Law Office of Joseph S. Normand. You got a lot of choices in your legal team, but with Joe, family always comes first. Call 213-747-2000. 213-747-2000. That's the Law Office of Joseph S. Normand. NormandLegal.com. If you get hurt in an accident, give Joe a call. Rafael Devers makes it a little harder on the Dodgers. That's coming up next. It's Trav. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey, it's John Ireland. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's clean energy without the crash. No synthetic junk, just a smooth boost to keep you focused and locked in. Whether you're teeing off early, powering through the workday, or just need that extra push, Pro Baller delivers. Grab the limited edition Lakers can, available now at Costco, Amazon, and select convenience stores. Pro Baller Energy. Champions choose clean energy.
Next Gen is the official heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans and is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Get ready to beat the summer heat with Next Gen. For a limited time, enjoy a free whole home air cleaner with any new AC installation. Call 833-3NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN to book your appointment. CSLB number 1011173. Next Gen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN.
I want to put my feet in the sand. I want to drink. I want to eat. I want to walk. I want to have the sun on my face. That's it.
Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
I know you're not the world's biggest golf fan, Andy. Did you catch any of the U.S. Open played in a thunderstorm?
No, I did not, actually.
It's a weird tournament.
There's no water around the course, you know that.
That's right. Well,
remember we established
that. Oddly enough,
right.
that's not that Beto was wrong. What Beto wasn't understanding is that there was going to be a deluge, we go with strewn, in the middle of the final round, and it kind of determined the outcome of the tournament. JJ Spawn, local guy, by the way. Congratulations to him winning his first
Dodger
ever
fan.
major. Yeah, he grew up, I think,
San
in San Dimas, was it? Went to San Diego State. Like, he's an LA guy, so maybe he knows the station. I don't know. But congratulations. And he's been on tour for a while. Like, if you follow golf like I do, you know his name, but he's not like a star by any stretch of the imagination. He's a guy that's
Is this
out
the
there.
first big thing he's won?
Yeah.
I remember when on Friday, because you didn't have your laptop with you, and I was giving you updates,
Right.
and I said, JJ Spawn is 5 under.
Yeah.
5 under today. Like
So he got off to a good start. He was pretty good on Friday and Saturday, and then yesterday in the final round, he was still near the top of the leaderboard, at the top of the leaderboard, and he got off to a terrible start. He bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes. He got a little unlucky. He bounced a shot off the flagstick that ricocheted like 40 yards in the wrong direction. Super unlucky. It starts to rain like crazy. They take everybody off the course for about an hour and a half or so. And he goes back out there, and he's kind of the only one at that point that kind of got his you-know-what together and started to play really well. The problem is the golf course became almost unplayable with all the water on it. What's-his-face, Sam Burns, was standing in a puddle, and they wouldn't let him move his ball. It was weird.
So
The whole thing it turned into more of a, not so much a skill of golf as it is random acts of good bounces and where the ball would stop rolling. And yeah, that ball landing in the water for that guy or in some standing water, and the way they let him move it, that's just that's just A, it's a bad call, and B, it's just bad luck.
So you're telling me this is similar to the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl where the lights go out and then one team gets it's conveniently lights go out and the other team gets lights out after
Maybe. Yeah, it's not far. So I was listening to a golf podcast this morning and somebody said something that I think is probably right, which was if this weren't the U.S. Open and TV ratings weren't such a big deal, like this is one of the few things that you get a lot of non-golf eyeballs on. They don't play that tournament yesterday or come back out. The golf course was too wet. Typically, you just roll it over to Monday, but they didn't want to do it because it's the U.S. Open. And I don't know, taking nothing away from Spawn, who was really, really good, but it was a very unsatisfying conclusion because the golf course got so weird.
Do you think that delay helped him? Because you'd said before, like, he had been kind of flailing about, and then they took that break. Like,
hold on, Andy, I got something in my headset here, guys. Something weird. There. Okay, it's gone. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Do you think that delay helped him? Like, just the idea that he got to settle down?
I think it's one of those very odd things that could send you one of two ways, and it sent him in the right direction. That it sent, like Adam Scott, who's 150 years old, was, playing pretty well and had a chance, and the delay torpedoed his chances. Spawn was kind of all over the place, and it kind of flipped his script, and he took off and played really well. I think it's just the luck of the draw for more than anything else, but he clearly used it to his advantage.
One other thing that I heard about, too, from this weekend with J.J. Spawn was that his daughter that night, so I guess like Saturday night, was getting sick and throwing up, and he was up with his daughter until 3 a.m. that morning because he couldn't find also a 24-hour CVS in Pittsburgh, which makes sense. It's a city that kind of like goes to bed kind of early and doesn't stay up 24/7. But
but they're not in the middle of it's Pittsburgh. I mean, it's a real city, right?
But not everywhere has 24-hour stuff. It's kind of a sleepier area. But universal dad experience, I'm sure.
Well. Yes, that's when hey, the kid's sick. You got to go take care of that.
I have a big important day tomorrow.
I'm playing in the U.S. Open tomorrow. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Susan.
The U.S. Open is a major. It's an incredibly prestigious award to win, a title to win, a championship to win. It's bad TV way more often than it's good TV. Last year we got lucky with Rory and DeChambeau. It was really good TV. But watching guys shoot 75 is just... I can do that.
It's because the course is so difficult?
It's just too difficult, and they're not making. You can't catch anybody. It's like it's a war of attrition more than it is somebody going out there and playing really well.
But you know what, though? I will see people comment all the time on social media about how they actually enjoy watching a lot of these pros struggle and really have to like keep it together over the course of 18 holes because it just shows the difficulty of golf and how I think one of the appeals of golf for people like us, or even people like me that have played casually at best over the years, every now and then, and I can think of my example for me, you will hit a shot that a pro could not have hit it any better. Like the difference is the pro can hit that same shot 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, as opposed to me where it was 1 out of 100. But that one shot, a pro would not have done it any better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that hooks you in, even amidst all the struggles.
I've heard that argument. It's fun to watch them play a little bit more like us on occasion, and that's not wrong. The problem is when the entire field is playing like that, it becomes less interesting. And just as a sporting event, as a TV show, what makes the Masters different than all of these other things is you can go catch somebody. I can get crazy hot and go shoot a 6, 7, 8 under and reel you in. That never happens at the U.S. Open. It's just somebody's got to back up and you just have to hold position.
Do they just seek out more difficult courses?
They grow the grass really high. It's super long. Yes, it's the way that the course is set up more than the course itself. You could take any course and make it kind of sort of like that. But it was congratulations to Spawn. I always like it when an LA guy comes through, but it was a bloodbath. I mean, the winning score is barely under par. It was a lot. ESPN LA's Legends launch presented by Legends Attic. It's all part of ESPN LA's 4th annual All-Star Friday night. Coming up July 11th at the West Covina Sportsplex. You get to step up to the plate, take your shot in a high-energy challenge to hit as many balls as you can in 90 seconds. You bring your own bat and helmet, and your big swing because spots are limited. Head to ESPNLA.com right now to reserve your spot. Step up, swing big, be legendary. So Desmond Bain to Orlando for a whole bunch of picks. What does that mean for Austin Reeves? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland, next at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
By the way, I was mobbed by listeners when I walked over to LA Live. So many
For
people
what
listening
reason?
to the show. Just fans of the show.
Oh, okay.
So I was mobbed. Both of these guys listen. To me, that's a mob.
Somebody yelled at you at Slay?
That's true. He stood up at Slay and said, I'm a P1.
God bless you, sir.
God bless that guy.
OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey guys, let's talk about Prize Picks. But let's start off by saying this. Do you know ball? I mean, do you really know ball? Are you a ball knower? Well, there's only one series left in the playoffs, and the championship is officially on the line. That means time is running out for you to put your final takes to the test on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports, combine your favorite basketball players from baseball to hockey to esports, and don't forget my favorite darts and much, much more. Prize Picks invented the flex play. I always play flex, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So here's what I want you to do. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. You're going to get that $50 instantaneously when you make your first $5 lineup. That's code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Pacific Palms Resort, LA's Hilltop Hideaway and #1 work and play resort, provides opportunities for all travelers and locals. Enjoy restful accommodation, dine in the Red Restaurant with an expansive outside patio, or pamper yourself and relax at the spa. Hit the links at one of their 2 championship courses, the Babe and the Ike. Pacific Palms Resort is the perfect choice for a Los Angeles venue for your business meetings, weddings, and big events. Enjoy a beautiful staycation or family holiday at their Hilltop property. Book your stay at LA's #1 work and play resort today at PacificPalmsResort.com.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show, now mornings 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Update, 11 o'clock on Monday morning. Still no response. Still the kitchen in my house still destroyed by the children. They're still asleep, I'm assuming. So
They got like
nothing
30
from
minutes until it's like, that's a little bit late to sleep.
It's
in.
11 o'clock on a Monday. Come on.
But they don't, they're off.
From what?
From school.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
now
Kelly
we're
just
getting
graduated,
into a deeper
but-
thing.
Yeah.
From what? What are they off from?
Yeah, exactly. I'm off from doing what? Going to class for 2 hours a day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
studying
taxing.
and doing internships.
Playing die, going to volleyball,
as
going to
well.
the beach. Yeah, I'm officially that guy. Do you know a high school senior who is not my children, who is a leader, a scholar, and an athlete? Nominate them for the ESPN LA All-Star Student Award presented by Rotolo Chevrolet. 5 winners, $500 scholarship to each of the 5 winners. VIP treatment at the All-Star Friday night event. And you can nominate your All-Star student today at ESPNLA.com. Thanks to Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region in California, 13 years in a row. Come see what all the fun is about. So take me through this, Andy. The Orlando Magic acquired Desmond Bain from the Memphis Grizzlies. Desmond Bain's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's a very good player.
He's one of those all-star adjacent players.
Yeah.
Like, he has often played at an all-star level. He's never made an all-star game. He is one of the best shooters in the league.
Yes.
Like, at volume. He is an outstanding shooter, and he can defend.
4 first-round draft picks. As someone that just at first blush, that seems like a lot. And I know that Orlando, presumably with the addition of Bain, those picks will be later in the draft, at least theoretically. But for a player that is a good player, not a star player, not a somebody that a casual would be familiar with, that seems like an awfully high price to pay.
It's high. I do think that you have to think of it as at least one of those picks is being used to offset taking on KCP's contract. KCP went to Memphis as part of this deal. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a good player. Obviously, Laker fans know him, have affection for him. He is coming off one of his worst seasons as a pro, and he's got about 2 years, 40-ish mil left on his deal. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. He's 32. He may be in starting physical decline, which matters for a guy that part of his calling card is point of attack defense, things like that. So some of this is the price of taking on KCP. And like you said, these firsts aren't going to be worthless. I mean, Desmond Bain, for example, he was the 30th pick, I believe. But
they're not lottery picks either.
The odds of them being lottery picks, if Orlando gets out of this what they want, they're already a pretty good team. Adding Desmond Bain, you're talking about multiple picks that should be anywhere from 20 to 30. That's not a massive sacrifice. I mean, I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's not massive.
It seems to me, too, that considering we're going from here to there, we're sending the, air quote, the good player from the west to the east, right? And you're sending future things from the east to the west. This is representative of where this league is. The East, and no disrespect to Indiana, but I don't know a lot of people coming into the playoffs said, oh, Indiana is going to represent the Eastern Conference in the playoffs.
Not many.
And Jason Tatum is down for a while. That the Eastern, the Knicks are in flux, at least when it comes to their coaching search. Giannis may or may not be leaving Milwaukee.
But either way, Milwaukee is not in good shape regardless.
Doesn't feel like it. You know, Philly is a giant question mark with Embiid and George. That the East feels like
Detroit is rising, but there's no dominant team.
So let's get a Bain. Let's go for it, because if Indiana can go do what they did, it doesn't feel like Orlando's a million miles from there, where the opposite is true on the other side, that the West is so loaded that you get down into the 6, 7, 8 range, and those are really good teams.
I know, and Memphis was one of them.
Memphis was one of them that, hey, look, this OKC thing's just getting started. This San Antonio thing may be getting started. Who knows what the Lakers are going to be able to do with Luka and however they manage their roster. We may have to go to the bottom so we can start to stack up to get to the top.
Well, also, too, I mean, they've been working with that Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bain core for a few years.
Yeah.
I think there's some extenuating circumstances with injuries and stuff, and Jaws waves arms around stuff. But bottom line is it has not gotten them as far as they've needed to. It's starting to get really expensive. I think they're looking for some financial flexibility, which they're going to get, to extend Jaren Jackson Jr., but also just have a little bit more maneuverability in whatever direction they go moving forward.
So what happens with Austin Reeves? And I get it's not apples to apples. It's not a one-to-one. If this player's worth this many picks, then that player's worth that many picks. I know it doesn't work like that.
But tell that to Lakers Twitter.
However, if Desmond Bain is a 4 first-round draft pick sort of player, what is Austin Reeves? Because from somebody who watches, but I don't look at it quite like he seems to me like he's a better player than Desmond Bain.
I think Desmond Bain's a little bit better than Austin.
Okay.
Because Desmond Bain's a two-way player.
Okay.
And Austin I think is somewhere between a 1 to a 1.5 way player.
Okay.
Particularly, I mean, Austin will work defensively, and he'll have moments, but he's not great. Desmond Bain's a better shooter than Austin. Austin is a better creator for himself or others. I think they're roughly comparable. If you put a gun to my head and said who I think is better, it's Desmond Bain. But I think if you ranked guys by tiers, they're at roughly the same tier.
And I don't know if the Lakers want picks.
Well,
that's the other thing. Like the Lakers, picks are fun to think of. What if you're OKC and you got to collect 8 trillion picks to build what you've built, and it took them a while to build it. Okay, that's one way to do it, but that's kind of the only way OKC can do it. If you're the Lakers and LeBron James is on the other side of 40, and you don't quite know exactly what he's going to do moving forward, do picks do you any good?
Yeah.
Don't you need players?
No, you do need picks for a few reasons. First of all, LeBron cannot really be part of your equation planning moving forward. Like, you're always going to treat LeBron well. I think LeBron will play for the Lakers as long as he wants to, because the Lakers are never going to show him the door. For better or for worse, depending on how you feel about it, he will be here forever. But you cannot plan around LeBron. Like, LeBron, other than what his salary will cost you and how you're going to use him, LeBron is not part of the long-term planning. It's Luka. And I do think actually those picks can be really useful, A, because they might help you trade for a more established guy.
So you use him as an asset to flip for other guys.
And I think this is especially important when you're building around Luka. You need to try to find more athleticism, more defense, more two-way players if possible. And if you have access to cost-controlled players in this new CBA, like, part of what's helped out the Thunder, beyond the fact that, they traded for SGA and they've generally drafted really well, a couple of their best players, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, they're still on cost-controlled contracts.
Yeah.
And they're becoming two-way players on top of it. So I think the Lakers, to be totally honest, have been way too frivolous with their picks and have treated them as way more disposable than they actually are. I think they matter. But as far as that question of what does Austin give you if Desmond Bane can get you 4 first-round picks, the answer, I think, is less.
Less.
And the reason is, the number one reason, Austin is essentially in a walk year.
Yeah.
Because unless Austin just decides, I want financial security, I'm going to take the extension the Lakers can offer. The max they can offer is like $4.89. He can make in the hundreds of millions next offseason as a free agent. Unless he just wants security and not to have to worry about it, there is no incentive for him to take an extension with the Lakers or anybody now, which means if you trade for him, you have to treat him as a potential flight risk. Desmond Bane is under contract through 2029.
Go back to what you said about LeBron in a second. You have to prepare, like, you have to account for his salary, but beyond that, you just have to operate like you don't know.
This is about planning for the Luka era, not the LeBron era.
I think that's what should be done. I think that would be the most logical thing to do, that trying to factor in the future involving a 41-year-old guy in what next year be his 23rd season. His 23rd season seems risky. Do they know? I mean, at some point, whether it's just him and Jeannie or just him and Rob or just some guys, I'm doing one more. I'm doing whatever the number is, so you could do what you're talking about, to say we've got this for another year or 2 years or 3 years, because it seems like they're trying to have a foot in both worlds, and you can't do that. You have to have both feet in either world, either in the we're going to do whatever it takes, or we're going to do whatever it takes with Luka Doncic.
Well, this is the double-edged sword of the way the Lakers, they're a very, as John Ireland would say, star effing driven town organization. They are kind of a star effery franchise. This is the way they've always been. And they very much pride themselves on, like, the true superstars that are part of our organization. We will always cater to them. We will always defer to them on pretty high levels.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to plan around a guy who's essentially in an open-ended situation. And here's an interesting question. If LeBron opted out and walked this coming off season, everyone's expecting he's going to opt in, but let's just say LeBron walked. People need to understand the Lakers are not going to gain $50 million in cap space. They're going to gain some, but not enough to bring in a true star player. The Lakers will be worse if LeBron walks this offseason. But if I had to choose between LeBron walking this offseason or opting out to sign another 1+1, and we do another year of this open-ended,
well, that's the thing.
Especially within 2026, you could theoretically end up in a place where Austin may be off your books. LeBron could be off your books. Rui, Gabe Vincent. You start gaining a lot more maneuverability and the ability to actually build the roster that you want around Luka in the most ideal way, Luka in his prime. If I had to choose between LeBron walking this offseason, which will make the Lakers worse for 25-26, or another 1+1, I would choose him walking.
Yeah, I just have never seen.
Again, to be clear, would suck for the Lakers this coming season.
It would be, and I understand why they don't want to do it. The why you don't want to do that is because star effing driven town, all of that stuff, and that it would be bad. But this is the classic. Maybe it's one step back to take 3 steps forward, and they just seem to be adverse to that as a philosophy. They'd rather hold serve where they are for as long as possible rather than go down a little bit to jump up a lot.
Well, particularly too when you're talking about a star of LeBron's caliber, and
But this is where it gets funny for me, Andy, and because I agree. In the NBA galaxy of stars, both currently and historically, there aren't any brighter than LeBron James. There are some that are as bright, but he is one of
He's
those
as
guys.
bright as any star that has ever shone.
Exactly right. I get that. But I don't know if Laker fans feel about him like that, the way that they felt about Magic Johnson, the way they felt about Kobe. That's what I mean. Like
as somebody who interacts with Laker fans all day,
that's what
every
I'm
day,
saying.
I can
Like
promise you they don't.
if the Lakers kind of, and I know that this is just their ethos is not to do this, but if they just went, look, we got to move on, I think Laker fans would, by and large, understand the impulse.
Well, look, if LeBron, let's say LeBron opted out, but opted into like another deal where he's making 25 a year as opposed to 50 something. Okay. Like you can work with that. But I think first of all, the open-ended makes it impossible to plan with any certainty.
For sure.
When it's continually open-ended 1+1, we'll see what happens with the second year. But also at that price, like I already have concerns, to be totally honest, about the viability of building around Luka and a no longer best bargain in the league, Austin Reeves. Like, I think in this new CBA, your 2 most expensive players, one of them needs to be a two-way player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you start looking at the teams that have done really well in the playoffs. Like, I realize you can find counterexamples if you want, but for the most part, Shea, I think, is pretty close to a two-way player, but Jalen Williams or Chet Holmgren, who, again,
they are
cost-controlled,
yeah.
they're definitely two ways. Tyrese Halliburton is a one-way player, but Pascal Siakam or Miles Turner, they're two-way guys.
Tatum.
Jason Tatum's a two-way player. Ant Edwards is a two-way player. The Knicks, their 2 most expensive guys, Jalen Brunson, Cat, neither one of them are two-way players, and that's what ultimately got them in trouble. I don't know the viability of doing this necessarily with Luka and Austin, but when you start factoring in Luka and Austin and LeBron at $50 million, I don't know if you're going to be able to build the roster that you need to.
And they'll be fine next year, but like we know, fine is not good.
Look,
fine is, are they going to make the playoffs? Yes.
Again,
are they going to be out? Probably.
I want LeBron to opt in for this coming season because the Lakers will be worse, and they're not going to gain enough cap space if he walks away. But another 1+1.
Just we're having this conversation a year, 18 months from now. It's the same thing over and over again. Ohtani is making his Dodger debut on the mound tonight. We'll get into it next. It's Trav and Andy, 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Next Gen, the official air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and electrical team of SoCal sports fans. Did you know that the water in Southern California contains nitrates, pesticides, forever chemicals, lead, chromium, chlorine, and more? See what a difference purified water can make for you and your family. For a limited time, Next Gen's offering everyone $500 off any whole home water purification system. And with thousands of 5-star reviews and a decade of experience, you can trust them for quality service and expertise. Next Gen is your whole home comfort provider, offering plumbing, AC, heating, and electrical services. Schedule a visit today and learn all about the benefits of cleaner water and total home comfort. We're talking whole home expertise, financing options, 5-star service, and 7-day-a-week availability. So don't wait. Call right now, 833-3-NEXGEN today to start the benefits of cleaner water for your home tomorrow. CSLB number 1011173. Next Gen, here for you now and for years to come.
NEXGEN, call 833-3-NEXT-GEN.
Do you know a high school senior who's a true all-star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? ESPN LA, along with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC, is proud to present the All-Star Student Program. We're honoring 5 incredible seniors with a $500 scholarship and an exclusive VIP experience at ESPN LA's All-Star Friday night. Nominate your standout student today at ESPNLA.com. ESPN LA All-Star Student, brought to you by Rotolo Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the West region once again. Come see what all the fun is about.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Do you want to play in ESPN LA's second annual listener game? Visit ESPNLA.com now for your chance to secure a roster spot. You can be on my team, Team Travis, or you can be on Team DeMarco. Visit ESPNLA.com today. Thanks to our pal, Joseph S. Normand and the law office of Joseph S. Normand. We were just talking about your podcast, Andy. Where would you find such a podcast?
Oh, anywhere you get your podcast.
At the Hollywood Bowl.
At the Hollywood Bowl, Emily established with her eagle eyes, seeing over in the control room. Somebody during Mumford & Sons was watching Locked On Lakers. I was so excited, Emily, when you sent that video.
It's so good.
It's great.
It was right after the show ended. It's fantastic. Free and available wherever you get your podcast.
Anywhere you
Never
get your
behind
podcast, Monday through Friday.
What if I wanted to watch?
Oh, for the sickos who like to watch, we just established there's a YouTube component. And the great thing about the Locked On Network, they have shows for every team in the Big Four.
Yes.
And all the major colleges teams.
Too.
And obviously that includes the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes, indeed. And the Dodgers and every team that you can think of, they have something covered for you right there. So go.
I highly recommend the Rams. Locked On Rams.
Doug McCain does a terrific job.
He really does. He carries the other guy that he's with.
He's a dead weight when he shows up at all. All right,
I hope that's not an even split.
Well, let's not get crazy. Let's not. Come on now. I think the split is fine.
Fair is overrated.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Shohei Ohtani will make his Dodger pitching debut tonight, Dodger Stadium against the Padres. You know what's funny? We've talked about this a lot today. I've read about this a lot today. And you know what I have not heard from anybody? Is he going to do well? I think we all understand he's going to be. He might be a little wild. He might walk some guys. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and throw an immaculate inning or anything like that. But the concept of him going out there and getting lit up is virtually zero.
He's just a really hard guy to imagine doing bad at anything.
Right.
Even when Ohtani strikes out, there's a feeling like, did that just happen? And I know he even strikes out a lot.
He does strike out a lot.
He does strike out a lot. But we're so used to him being incredible at everything.
You know what it is?
Question your own eyes.
Well, with the strikeout thing specifically, even when he strikes out a lot, you're like, oh, he's fine. He'll hit a home run. It's coming. He struck out. That's fine. Like, there's never a, hey, what's wrong with him? The what's wrong with Ohtani never crosses your mind. Which, going back to the pitching, this isn't a, hey, can he pitch? It's, is he healthy? That's the only wild card. We'll see how much he pitches tonight. The Dodgers said he'll pitch an inning, perhaps two. We were talking about it earlier. I think a lot of it depends on the pitch count through the first inning. I think anything south of 20, I think you roll him again. Maybe if it gets weird in that 18, 19, 20 range, you might sit him down. But to your point, if we're going to use him like a pitcher, getting him up and down, I think, is at least part of the rehab process.
I think you have to remember that there's a real game attached to this. Like Ohtani pitching is going to become an event, as well it should be, and it's going to be really exciting. But you've got an actual game to be played in an actual series that matters.
Against a good team.
Against a very good team. You've already been dealing all season with a bullpen that's been overtaxed. Like, I think you have to treat this in a lot of ways like a real game, even though we know it's more than a real game, and we know that the circumstances surrounding Ohtani need to be very carefully monitored. You need to make sure, though, that you're handling this sensibly in ways that matter beyond Ohtani.
The part that is so interesting to me is that there is no – I shouldn't say no. If he went out there and was just lights out, say he pitches 2 innings and he strikes out 4 guys and he gives up no hits and just lights them up, we'd go like, yeah, cool, awesome. If he went out there and got shelled, I think we'd all be stunned. Like that, he set the bar at such an extraordinary high level. He is such not just a great player and not just a great hitter and not just a great pitcher, but he has set the bar at you can't trick us. You can't disappoint us. You can't get us to the point where like, hey, that doesn't look right. It's just like, yeah, okay. It might not be perfect, but it's almost always going to be pretty good. And I can't remember the last time we saw that with a guy who just the floor was like a B+. Like baseball, you fail all the time. And with him, it just doesn't happen all the time.
Baseball is a sport rooted in failure. Like if you're a 300 hitter, that means 70% of the time you don't get a hit. You're considered a really good hitter at 300. It just dawned on me that in terms of working in Ohtani's advantage, between the fact that the first time he's pitched in the National League and the fact that he has not pitched in a couple years, period, all the batters he's facing are going to be totally unfamiliar with him.
Most of them.
Like, they're really not going to know what it means to get pitched to from Ohtani. Like, they're not going to have any reference point.
That's the other part. And baseball fans and Angel fans will remember it's not just that he pitches. Like, I know that the further we get away from it, it's like, oh, he's a two-way guy, but we've seen him swing the bat till we got to the point where, oh, he's a 50 home run guy, he's a 50 steal guy, that there's nothing he does with his bat or his legs that make us go, oh, I think there's going to be a couple of moments tonight I was like, oh, right, this isn't where Landon Knack, who is a major league pitcher and can look really good at times, or Emmett Sheehan, who's a major, like, it's Tony Gonsolin, like, they're major league pitchers. That's an incredible threshold to meet. It's like throwing another Yamamoto in there. It's like throwing another, high level guy.
He was a Cy Young caliber
Justin Verlander. Yeah, he's a all-star caliber starting pitcher. This isn't a add-on. This is another house.
You mentioned the idea of like, how would we react if he got shelled?
Yeah,
and there would be this shock because we're so not used to seeing Ohtani.
He's not going to
really.
get shelled.
I don't think he will either. What do you think happens, though, if he does in terms of the Dodgers' approach to it? Do they just treat it as, you know what, it's his first time out, it's rust, and delay his next scheduled start?
The discourse tomorrow, assuming health, he just gets lit up, but he's healthy. The guys hadn't pitched in 2 years. He was hyped up. His stuff flattened out. It happens to the very best of him. He came out of it healthy. It's a huge success. He's fine. He's on track. He'll pitch 5-6 days from now. I really think that is assuming he's actually 100% healthy. Even if he went and pitched 1 inning, he gives up a couple of home runs, and they're just lighting him up. But he feels good. Okay. But I'd be stunned if that happened. I'm calling my shot. He's going to hit a home run tonight.
That would be amazing.
He's going to hit a home run tonight.
It feels very like if the Dodgers are smart, they will immediately start mass producing some Ohtani bobbleheads right now. Make them for tonight. Because A, more of an event. B, that dude delivers on bobblehead night.
You're right about that. You're
like,
right about that.
You start making those bobbleheads right now.
I want to make sure I say this accurately and without any sort of entitlement. You and I doing what we've done for as long as we've done it, there gets to be a point where the next event is the next event. And you consume it and you like it and it's fun and it's exciting. But there's a lot of times where just one game kind of bleeds into the next because you're pulling content for this and pulling content for that. And you're trying to figure out, hey, what am I going to say about this? What am I going to say about that? And just the flat ass fun of it all gets kind of lost. Mm-hmm. Not tonight. No. Tonight is going to be one of those, make sure you're in front of your TV at, 7:10, I think his first pitch, because he's throwing it. You're going to see it, and then he's coming up to bat first after that. That is just incredibly fun and awesome.
It's really fun.
It is tonight at 7:10 on MLB Network.
Yeah. Probably Spectrum, too, because sometimes they simulcast those. I cannot wait to see it. Clayton Kershaw should be mic'd up for this, too. Because when they put him on the headset during the game, there's nobody better at that.
He's really good at it.
He's an A+.
And you know what's funny too is like I covered Kershaw early in his career. Like
how was he to deal with?
Very professional, very polite. Clearly did not enjoy that piece of it.
Oh, really? Okay.
But he was never hostile. He's always he's also, it's very well documented with Kershaw. He's super creature of habit. Very, very OCD regimented. I imagine all he was thinking about while dealing with us post-game scrum was, I either want to be doing my post-game treatment or watching film for the next game. I don't want to be dealing with you guys. Early on, he was always very, like I said, very polite, very professional. Not necessarily, though, somebody that you would picture being, for lack of a better way of putting it, fun enough for these mic'd up things. Uh-huh. But as you get older and you start becoming more comfortable in your own skin, you start getting more don't give a bleep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to please. Like, at this point, Clayton Kershaw doesn't need to please anybody. It's Clayton Kershaw.
He's so good when they go down to the dugout and he's kind of does an inning with and we've seen him do it on Spectrum with Oral and Joe Davis. We've seen him do it last night with Carl Ravitch. We've seen him do it on Fox games on the weekend. He checks literally every box. Is he famous? Yes. Was he incredibly good? Yes. Does he have experience in every possible conceivable situation that exists? Yes. Is he opinionated? Yes. Is he funny? Yes.
He's telegenic. He's got everything.
Is he informed? Yes. Is he comfortable? Yes. Like last night I thought it was great. He talked about his gender reveal of his new kid and all that stuff. It was fun.
5 kids.
That's a lot. That's a lot of kids.
I'd argue too many.
The best You wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't get an argument from me. The best part was when they were talking about the Rafael Devers trade, and he was saying, it makes him a lot better. He's a great hitter, et cetera, et cetera. And I believe it was Ravitch that said, well, they sent a lot of good players out. And Kershaw goes, never heard of him. And he goes, well, the one guy was the 7th pick in the draft last year. He goes, I don't care. And he's like, well, this is the major leagues. I don't care where you went to college. I don't care where you were drafted. I don't care. Brilliant. Like it was so good. Like, guys, this is the major leagues. We're doing this. I don't care where you got drafted. You either done it here or you haven't done anything. And it was so refreshing to hear honesty and just like, I don't know who those guys are. What do I care? They didn't done anything in this league yet.
Another example of sometimes you don't see this coming. I would never have guessed from his playing career and his playing interviews that A-Rod would be good on TV.
No.
Like he showed
That's a surprise.
No personality whatsoever. And frankly, he was always in so many different scandals.
Yes.
He was always trying to avoid saying anything. He's good on TV.
He's very good on TV. He's very insightful. He's very good at talking about what he's looking at and why it matters and what may happen next, which I think he's great at. But what box he does not check, and he's never checked, you don't like him. Yeah. You like listening to him because he's giving you some good stuff, but it's like, I don't like that guy. Mm-hmm. And the guys that are really easy to listen to are guys that you like.
You know what I just learned is very good at commentary, and it's not even necessarily a surprise because he's always had personality. He's a bright guy, but I'd never seen him do it before. Andre Agassi.
Oh, yeah.
He is fantastic.
He checks all the same boxes.
Yeah.
He played at the highest level. Yeah. Has he been in every situation? Yeah. Is he informed? Yes. Is he funny? Yes.
It's
Is
not
he
even that it's a
opinionated?
surprise.
Yes.
I just had never heard. To be totally honest, I didn't even know that he was doing commentary until I recently saw him. I think it was French Open.
Okay.
It was either French Open or U.S. Open, one or the other recently. He was so good.
Put a headset on Clayton Kershaw. Now, he's not going to do like game night after night after night. It's just he's got little kids. He's got 5 little kids. But
many.
once a week, postseason, let's go.
He'd
like
be real
sooner than
Sunday
later.
night ESPN.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Or Saturday afternoon on Fox. Whatever Apple TV on a Friday night. Whatever Apple Plus TV on Friday night. Whatever it is you want to do. Sooner than later because he's terrific at that. Hot and cold coming up next. Andy's in for DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
It's morning, everyone. Today's the day.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurants protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $279 a month plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment. VIN S3723202. MSRP $32,189. $33.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code SRD-21.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
As you know, we've welcomed a new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Aloha. Ahoy, ahoy. Hi.
There we go. I can't start until everyone says hi somehow. It's about 25 minutes until the Club World Cup for LAFC starts. They're playing Chelsea in Atlanta, so it looks like it's going to be a great game. So hopefully LAFC comes out with a victory.
Jorge, help me out here. What are they one of... How many teams are in this thing? 30?
32.
32.
Yeah.
Of the 32 teams, are they in the top half or the bottom half?
I mean, there's only 3 MLS teams. I mean, they came in, I would say...
Bottom half?
Yeah, so bottom half is what I got from
that. Okay. So they'll get their doors blown off or no? You never know.
You never know. Like,
okay.
I'm confident.
Okay.
They can be Leicester City or whatever, however you say that name. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip for you guys. And pardon, it's going to be a longer clip, but I do want to play a lot of it because Jason Sudeikis was on Men with Blazers podcast and talked about how he created the character of Ted Lasso. And even if you haven't seen this show, you know what Ted Lasso looks like. And he said he got a lot of info from Jim Harbaugh. So this is Jason Sudeikis talking about his relationship with Jim Harbaugh.
Look, this is right. Hey, Coach, how are you? Writing you from jolly old England. This is September 4th, 2019. As we're in the middle of filming episode 2 of that Ted Lasso show I'm doing for Apple. So far, so good, I think. This emoji. I had a small, silly question for you. On game days, what do you actually wear to and from the stadium? Do you usually change once you get to the stadium into your sideline gear, or do you just throw it on a top over whatever you're already wearing? And then after the game, post-interviews and all that fun stuff, do you shower, change clothes, etc.? Just curious what the reality is for coaches like yourself. I'm sure everyone is a little different, but I figure I'd ask you, sorry to pester. Other than that, I hope you and your family are well. Peace sign. All right? That was on September 4th, 2019, 12:09 p.m. At 12:10, no. He's got to do. Tonight, he replied. Yeah, 7:55. Great to hear from you. Glad the show's going well. I wear the same clothes every day, khakis and a blue sweatshirt. Same to the game that I coach in, and will wear the same thing to post-interview and then home as well. No shower unless it's really hot or really cold outside or raining. In that case, our equipment manager has a duplicate pair of everything I wear in my locker, so I put that on to wear back on the plane or home, and always a new pair of socks and a different underwear. There's always a locker with extra layers for cold games plus long johns. That's the routine for road games and home games. I pack a playbook, call sheet, 1 extra underwear, 1 extra pair of socks, and a toothbrush, and wear the rest of what I need. As I like to say, I pack a toothbrush and a great attitude.
Isn't that so?
That's the most
Harbaugh?
hard. You could hear Harbaugh saying. Harbaugh writes like he talks.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I think that Jim Harbaugh, whether you love him or dislike him, whatever it is, he is 100% himself. So is there anyone else like that you think that Ted Lasso could have like gained? Like, do you want him? Would you rather have been like a McVay type or like an Ed Ogeron? Or like, what are some of these like iconic coaches that he could have sought after?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I've never seen Ted Lasso.
It's okay, you don't have to see Ted Lasso, but like, would you like a British version of these things?
I have not seen Ted Lasso either, but here's the thing. I think my understanding of Ted Lasso, the clips that I've seen, is that Ted Lasso is a little corny but very earnest, right? That's basically Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
The Jim Harbaugh is a little corny and very earnest. So you can almost see where he's pulling that stuff from. And this is why I think Jim Harbaugh works so well in all the different places he's gone, but also tends to wear out his welcome may be a step too far, but just start to wear on people because he comes in, this is what I am, this is what I do, this is my expectation. I'm never going to alter what it is. This is me in my absolute core. People respond to it because it's authentic, and then it's like, dude, you are grinding me into dust, and he's got to go to the next spot.
If you wear the same thing every day, there's an element of OCD to it and regimented, but also there's an element of, I don't care about that at all. I'm just, give me clothes because I have to wear clothes because otherwise I'm going to get arrested. Like, it's illegal for me to not wear clothes, but just give me the same thing every day. I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to think about anything other than football and maybe my family.
Yeah.
When somebody is that, I think, narrow with their interests, what keeps them breathing, after a while that can wear on you because you have nothing else to even speak to this person about other than football.
Like McVay would be fascinating too, because Sean McVay, I think, is committed to his family. I think Sean McVay is committed to the stuff that he does away from football, but he's also
incredibly invested in his team. I would be willing to bet that he's very invested as to what the outfits are on game day because he always looks like $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
He always looks like it's put together in a very specific
Sean McVay
way.
would never wear the same thing every day.
No chance, no how, no way, but it's also very authentic to him.
Well,
He wears a lot of three-piece suits.
Yeah.
He seems to have, I would be lying if I said I know a lot of Sean McVay's interests, but he seems to be somebody that has interests other than football, even though he is a psycho about football.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure that Jim Harbaugh cares about quite literally anything. Like, I bet he's one of those people that eats the same thing every day.
Yeah,
One less
it would
decision
track.
to make.
What's
so
next?
what's cold is coaching because Dave Martinez thinks that it doesn't have anything to do with coaching. So he was asked...
Manager of the Nats.
He is the manager of the Nationals, and they're on a streak of losing, which isn't abnormal for the Nationals. And says, when asked about the recent struggles and where the blame might reside, and he says, it's never on coaches, it's always on the players. So what do you think about that statement from Dave Martinez?
I wouldn't say never. I agree with that generally speaking. I have a couple of hairs that I'd want to split in there. Number one, are we talking about coaching or are we talking about managing? Because in baseball, those are two different things. But you've heard me say this a million times, Andy. With the exception of football, the players are the ones that determine the outcome of these games. There are some levers that some coaches can pull here and there, but the players are far more important, except for in football, than the coaches. If you give, who's the best manager? Let's give it to Dave Roberts. If you gave Dave Roberts the Colorado Rockies roster, they're going to lose every night. Doesn't matter. If you gave whoever the manager of the Rockies is now this Dodger roster, they're going to win almost every night. And I think the same is true in the NBA. Football's the one that's a little different, so I generally agree with him. That being said, he's getting fired soon for saying that.
Well, here's where I would say he's right, to your point. The guys on the field, on the court, whatever, they control their own actions. They control their own level of play. Like a coach cannot make you throw a ball better. A manager cannot make you bat better in the box. But what coaches and managers are responsible for is putting their players in the best position to succeed.
No doubt.
Through their own decisions, floor combinations, field combinations, play calling, things like that, but also the buy-in. And I would say especially in baseball, and this is where...
soft skills.
This is where I've made the point many, many years that Dave Roberts is invaluable to the Dodgers. 162 games is a long-ass season, and his number one goal is getting guys to buy in and keeping grown millionaires from killing each other. Dave Roberts is outstanding at that.
That's the job that Dave Roberts has with his roster, and I agree. And that's managing, in my opinion. If what Dave Martinez is talking about, if you keep throwing to the wrong base, if you keep running into outs on the bases, that's coaching. That means your coaches are not telling your players, teaching your players, hey, we don't do this, we do that, and fixing those problems. If we throw to the... Yasiel Puig was a coaching issue, right? That was, if you can't hit your cutoff man, if you can't throw the right, I can't... We got to move on from you because you're not listening to the things that we're doing. If the guy just keeps missing the ball by 3 feet, that's the player.
Right.
So that's the hair that I would want to split.
This is the full quote, so misquote him. The players, sometimes you got to put the onus on the players. They got to go out there and they got to play the game, and they play the game the right way. We can't hit for them. We can't catch the ball for them. We can't pitch for them. We can't throw strikes for them. They got to do that.
That is true. I think he's correct about that, as long as the caveat, I am putting them through my own decisions in the best position to succeed. From there, you give it over to them.
That's also a very diplomatic way of saying, I'm about to get canned. I would like to continue to work at another place. This isn't my fault.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's coming, and it's coming sooner than later. Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by NextGen, the official heating, AC, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. Or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. The Dump is coming up next.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk.
Welcome to Big Tobacco's Fantasyland. the industry's idea of a healthier tomorrow, where vapes are deemed safer. Never mind, they can contain cancer-causing arsenic and lead. And they're anti-aging, because you're more likely to die younger from a stroke. In Big Tobacco's fantasy land, the deadliest industry can rebrand itself as your friend.
Mere Physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
I want to start with this one, Andy. This is on this day in history. It's way back in 1975, so I don't expect you to recall this from your own memories, but usually when you have a historic trade that kind of alters the trajectory of a franchise, you remember and I don't know any of these details. 1975, the Bucks traded Kareem to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
And no, I have no memory of that whatsoever.
Do you remember who he got traded for? Like these names, one of them kind of sort of rings a bell, but the rest is total mystery to me.
Is like Dave Cowens one of them?
Nope. There is a Dave, but it's not Cowens. It's Dave Myers.
Okay.
There's Junior Bridgman is the name that
He was a good player and a really successful businessman.
Elmore Smith and Brian Winters.
If memory serves, I mean, not memory because I have no memory of him playing. I guess if basketball historical knowledge serves, I think Elmore Smith was a good player.
Okay.
If you asked me if these were basketball players in the NBA or the local news station anchors for Minneapolis, I think I'd guess the news anchors.
And Junior Bridgman, because I believe
I've heard that name before.
He just passed away.
Okay.
He apparently went into business. I'm reading right now from his Wikipedia page. He went into fast food.
Oh, okay.
Like started franchising restaurants, similar like what Jamal Mashburn did. He was a billionaire when he passed away.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like Junior Bridgman was an incredibly success. Oh, I'm reading right now from Wikipedia. He owned hundreds of fast food restaurants, became a Coca-Cola bottler and distributor, acquired Ebony and Jet. Despite never making more than $350K during a season, he had a net worth of over $1.4 billion, making him one of the wealthiest former athletes in the world.
You know what? One of my favorite things about stories like that, just the $1.4 billion. We all understand the 0.4 is 400 million, right? Once you get into billions, the points, because a point always indicates a fraction. But that fraction is $400 million.
You give me 400 mil.
Give me the 0.4.
Yeah.
Give me the 0.4 of the 0.4.
Perfectly fine with it. Yeah, that's one of the main things I remember about Junior Bridgman. It was that he became an incredibly successful businessman.
It was on today in 1978 that the movie Grease was released.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I remember Grease. I've seen Grease. It's a fun movie, right? Great. But even at the time, when it was out, like originally in a thing. And I remember thinking, like, this is supposed to be set in high school. These people are in their 40s.
Yes.
They have wrinkles.
It was. I get that 90210 is one of my favorite shows. And with the exception of Andrea Zuckerman, they all at least kind of sort of passably look like high school students. John Travolta and who's the woman that played Rizzo?
Stockard Channing.
Stockard Channing looked like she could be the
Travolta-
mother of a
Was
high
she
school
Beauty
student.
School Dropout?
No.
No, that's Beauty School Dropout was Dee Dee Cohn, who played Frenchie.
Frenchie, that's it.
Frenchie. She is the sister, the real life sister of the iconic, legendary NBA photographer Andy Bernstein.
Really?
That's his sister.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dee Dee Cohn is his sister.
Olivia
Travolta
Newton-John was the only one that was kind of, sort of, maybe, but even she looked like she was in her mid-20s.
Travolta, I think, was about 23 when he did Grease.
Yeah.
Something like that. Jeff Conway was around the same age.
Just
for
a hard
Kaneki.
23.
Jeff Conway looked like he was 50.
Well, he lived a lifestyle.
I understand, but it was a specific look.
It's such a fun movie.
It is a fun movie.
My daughter loves it. I actually took her to the New Beverly so we could watch it on a screen.
Yeah.
And like the whole crowd was into it and they're singing along with songs. It was great.
It is a fun movie. It's just one of those, hey, this does not look like I can't even get, even at 9 years old, I'm having a hard time pretending that that's somebody that's only a handful of years older than me. Today in 2002, Lilo and Stitch was released in theaters.
The original, the good one.
The original.
Perfect
You
one.
still are holding on to the new one?
Yeah, I'm not going to see it, but it's okay.
Oh, you didn't see it, but you're saying it's not the good one?
I've heard people say about the ending that they kind of ruined what makes the ending great.
Oh.
And I don't care to put money towards that if I don't have to. I have only I don't have infinite time in the day, so I'm not going to go see a movie that I don't really want to see necessarily.
We somehow missed Lilo and Stitch in the Rogers household. Like all the Pixars, most of the classic Disneys, like the Snow Whites and the Dumbos and all that. Like we hit all of those, but never had a Lilo and Stitch moment in the house.
I think Lilo and Stitch is the best this millennium Disney only movie, not Disney Pixar. And I also think that like Emperor's New Groove is in this era
I've
too.
seen that one.
So
That's
that
good.
one's like it kind of went away from the traditional princesses and moved into more family stories. Lilo and Stitch is also, they added this, like the way it looks so distinctive is because they mimicked the early Disney watercolor backgrounds into new era technology for animation, and so it looks both new wave and old wave of Disney.
My daughter, she's told me she is a big fan of the original Lilo and Stitch. I have absolutely no memory of her ever watching it though. Like I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure she's watched it sometime when I wasn't in the room or whatever, but most of the stuff that she's really into, I can remember, if nothing else,
Going with her?
Either going with her or just witnessing her.
It was on in the
watching
house.
It.
Yeah.
I walked past a screen and blank is on it.
I got
have
one
never
for you.
seen her watch Lilo and Stitch.
With your daughter, and I would be shocked if you didn't have an answer for both of these. The one thing that they would watch over and over again that you're like, you know what, I can deal with this. And the one thing they watch over and over again, like, poke my eyeballs out, I can't do this another time.
As far as right now, she will watch The Outsiders over and over, and I'll watch that with her.
Yep, that's an easy one.
10 Things I Hate About You, she'll watch over and over. I'll watch that with her. Clueless. We just went
Clueless is fun.
to a screening at the Academy Museum
of
Clueless. Alicia Silverstone and some other people were there for a panel.
That's cool.
I got her into this movie. I was very excited about this movie, Rumblefish.
Oh, yeah. It's another S.E. Hinton
yes,
book.
Yes, it is. And the adaptation was done by Coppola. It's got a great, great cast. Matt Dillon, Mickey Rourke, Diane Lane.
Diane Lane, huh?
Diane Lane looking...
Well, which ones do you not like that she watches over and over again?
Like, as a little kid, too. Maybe not now, but the one, like, I can't do this again.
Okay, it is not a movie. It's a TV show that she loved. I think she actually still likes it now. The show The Loud House.
I don't know it.
It's a show. It's like one of those Nickelodeon shows where there's like, I think 11 kids.
Ooh.
And they're in one house.
Ooh.
And it's so chaotic.
And it's loud.
Yeah, it is. The show stresses me out. And she used to love that show, and I would have to leave the room when it was on.
One more thing about Lilo and Stitch. My summer swim team, because we do summer swim team in our neighborhood, and we'd have meets on Wednesdays, and we would go as a team to a movie theater the day of the meet, because the coaches and the parents didn't want us out in the sun getting us really tired before a meet or whatever. And so I just remember clearly some iconic kids movies of this era that we would go and see. I saw Finding Nemo with my swim team. I saw Cars with my swim team, and I saw Lilo and Stitch with my swim team. So that's the good memories.
Reinforces how much younger Emily is than the rest of us.
Good one for Maita and Gael. Bad one for them. That she'd like turn it off. I can't take it anymore.
She's whatever. She's not really into movies. I force her to watch The Lion King and all those animation movies or cartoon movies or whatever. She's more into like YouTube. She follows these YouTubers, and it's just, can you change that? Like, it's kids playing with toys. Like, change that. Like,
my daughter went through that phase as well.
They're just they unbox and all that stuff.
Unboxing, and then they play with toys a certain way, and then she wants to get those. It's just whatever.
The one that I always liked, I'm like, cool, fine. This can play all day, and it doesn't bother me. Mary Poppins. Totally fine, easy. Julie Andrews, the music, all good. And the one that I think I'm gonna stick my head in the oven, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Can't do it. Weird, creepy, awful.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
But you guys introduced Chitty Chitty Bang Bang somehow.
We did, like,
because
once,
it's not going to happen naturally.
Once is fine, but when all of a sudden we're in the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang era. First of all, the movie's like 9 hours long. It never ends. There's an intermission in a kids movie. What are we doing? Like, that's just an insane
intermission in
concept.
The Sound of Music.
Oh, crazy. No chance, no how, no way. Supercross talk coming up next.
Tonight, the Shohei era as a Dodgers pitcher
begins against the Padres.
We're talking about it all day on your home of real Dodgers talk. 710 ESPN.
And the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey, it's Mace. In tough times, a lot of people find themselves owing money to the IRS. It can really weigh you down, and you're confused about the right way to handle it. And all those scary ads on the radio about the IRS, they don't help. Tax relief advocates want you to relax, knowing that whether you owe $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS another day. TRA has a proven 3-step tax resolution process, plus they're experts at working with special programs available from the IRS to help taxpayers get back on track. Easy to see why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you owe money to the IRS and feel trapped, don't lose hope. Tax relief advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Mace is here. Ireland is in his remote compound. How are you, John?
Good, boys. How you doing?
Fantastic.
All is great.
Fantastic.
All is great.
Ohtani tonight.
Ohtani.
How about that?
Yeah.
How did,
I did not know, by the way.
until like at the end of the game last night. All of a sudden,
Alden Gonzalez tweeted that he was going to start maybe 10 minutes after the game had ended.
Yeah.
So it went from after the All-Star break to where Dave said the other day, like north of zero to, oh, by the way, he's pitching tomorrow.
we reached north.
That
It's
happened.
only going to go 1 or 2 innings, right?
Yeah, he's the opener for tonight. So 1 inning or 2 innings. I'm assuming this would be his normal bullpen, Dave.
So it made sense when they talked about why they're going to do it like this, that as weird as this sounds, that doing what he's going to do tonight is actually easier than throwing a simulated game before the game
And then going out and playing.
shutting it down, taking some time, getting ramped up, and then going back to pitch or go back to be the designated hitter late in the night. That's almost like a double header where this is just something he's done a million
And it's
times
not like
before.
he can do rehab starts or something in OKC because then
you
he's
can't miss his bat.
Right, exactly. So this is the most It's like a dress rehearsal or a soft opening.
It is that's a good way to describe
It's a soft
it.
opening.
Soft opening. And next week, maybe I would assume maybe on Monday he goes 3 innings and then 5 innings and then complete game.
I bet you they stretch him out relatively fast, assuming health, assuming performance. But I can't imagine the performance is going to be anything between good and awesome.
Yeah,
like
me too.
I'd be shocked if he was anything other if he was bad, right?
Oh yeah, I would be stunned.
You wouldn't?
You would not be stunned.
Not at all. He hasn't pitched in 2 years.
Yeah,
he's not normal though.
Right, but
He is
if he gets
superhuman.
lit up, you're going to be surprised by that?
Yeah, I would.
Wow.
What I would not be surprised by is if he walked a bunch of guys. Like that if he's like, let's say he's super hyped up, his pitch is flattened out, and he can't find the strike zone, that would not surprise me a ton. It surprised me a little bit, but if they just barreled him up a bunch of times, I would be really surprised
so
by
to
that.
Ireland's point, when he had his last surgery, his UCL surgery, he came back with the Angels. And he was available to pitch and hit, obviously. When he pitched, it was he really, really struggled, and they ended up shutting him down because the surgery, he wasn't ready to go. Is there any danger that we're in that situation tonight?
Well, why would they put him out there if they were in that situation?
Well, listen, here's the thing.
What's the point of pitching him now if he's not ready?
But we don't know. You just suggested maybe he's not going to be good. You suggested he's going to be great.
I don't know if he's going to be great. I'd just be shocked if he was bad.
I would be shocked if he's bad.
Yeah,
also.
but I agree with you, Ireland. I think, because Andy and I were talking about this earlier, the idea of how much is his return to the mound tonight related to the Dodgers, just how thin they are in their starting rotation.
Like how much necessity is involved with this?
Almost none.
Right.
I think with him, you don't do anything that isn't in his best interest. I don't care how short-handed you are, how many different times you got to go to a bullpen game. He gets the kid glove treatment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, that's exciting.
I can't
wish
wait.
they would have given us a little notice. I would have gone over there for the game. But
I'm going to go.
Are you going?
I am going to go.
Awesome.
Wait a minute. You're not paying, are you?
No, of course not.
Because did you guys see the prices?
Yeah, they went up 172%.
Yeah. I mean,
From
it's the
Friday
most
to
expensive.
today.
It's like a playoff game.
Yeah, wow.
The get-in I saw Ireland was 172.
Just like to sit in the worst seat in the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you sat at the worst seat in the house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think the worst seat in the house is?
I can tell you exactly what it is.
Okay, where is it?
It's down the line by the foul pole on the reserve level.
In left field.
Either side.
Either side.
It's
those are the points where you can't see the scoreboard.
You can't see the scoreboard. You can't really see the pitcher or the hitter and anything other than, kind of shapes. Like if you're behind home plate top deck, not so bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not so bad. And anything until you get about halfway down the left or right field line and that reserve level.
I took the whole gang to a game, and we sat upper deck down the left field line near the foul pole.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how bad they were, but you can't see the scoreboard. You can't see the replays. You don't even know what score the game is.
Could you see the little ball on top of the foul pole?
See the ball.
That's like where this is not good.
Yeah,
if you
by
can
the
see
way,
the top
under
of the
those
pole.
conditions, all right, not to be a snob, but everybody knows I am already. Wouldn't you rather be at home?
What's the game?
Tonight.
Oh, no, I'd rather be there.
Sometimes it's more
Even
fun
if you can't see the pitcher?
Yeah, tonight I would rather be there. If it were a playoff game, I'd rather be at home.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I want to see the circus for tonight with my own eyes. But at home or a playoff game, I want to see how he's pitching. I want to see what
it's
it
a
is.
really specific circus.
Yeah.
Like this is his first time pitching as a Dodger, so that's going to be a really unique energy. Even when you start getting into a playoff game, other than maybe Ohtani's first playoff game pitching, we've all been to playoff games.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean you necessarily take for granted the idea of seeing one in person, but you have more of the ability to pick or choose because you've experienced it. This is something by definition none of us have experienced
So
live.
the thing is, if you really want to watch him pitch, right, and you want to really see exactly what he's doing and where the ball, all that stuff, it's better on TV. But to be in that place for what is going to be just an electric environment. To me, that's what you get. You get the environment and the feel.
You get the story,
the pageantry, the story, all that stuff.
The environment for this, to me, is more intriguing than how he pitches.
Yeah.
Like, as he pitches more, then it'll be more about, like, what does it look like? What pitches are landing? What pitches aren't? Are they finding, all of that stuff. But for tonight, I'm kind of just excited to see him
bear witness.
be out there. I do. What's the worst seat in the house at a Laker game, Ireland?
300 level, probably on one of the ends.
Yeah, up in the corner, up in the end.
By the way, I'm changing subjects on you guys. Andy, you said something today that I would have bet a large amount of money on, and I would have been wrong.
Okay.
You have not seen the Yacht Rock documentary?
I have not seen the Yacht Rock documentary, but I feel like I already know a lot about it anyway.
Did you see The Greatest Night in Pop?
Oh, that's great too.
That's a great documentary on
Is
Netflix.
is that the one about
We Are the World?
I
Yeah.
meant to see it. I just haven't gotten around.
Yeah,
to it.
Boy,
you're a
I mean,
music
as much
guy.
as you love music, that stuns me. You haven't seen either one of those.
Well, the Yacht Rock one, like I said, I feel like I already know a lot about it
Because
anyway.
you listen to Mason and Ireland?
Because I listen to Mason Island. Because I actually have interviewed the Yacht Rock guys.
Oh, okay.
I've
got
had
it.
them on our
Like
old...
which? Oh, the guys that made the movie?
No, I'm talking about the guys who actually were the actors who created the genre of yacht rock.
Who were
they're
they?
in it.
Like J.D. Risner and
okay.
like I've had those guys on our show before.
Got it.
Like I remember I used to date a girl who was friends with those guys, and she has like an extra role in one of their early videos.
Those guys
cool.
are in the doc, but they're not in it a lot. The more of that doc is more about the artists themselves and how they all kind of came together.
No, I want to see it. I'm just, if you're asking why I haven't rushed to it, that's why.
Yeah, and both of them. You haven't seen Greatest Night in Pop either.
Yeah.
That one I do actually want to see.
Yeah,
I've
no,
kind
it's
of
really
forgotten.
good. It's really good.
That I just get caught up on Cyndi Lauper in that every time.
Cyndi Lauper.
That it should have been Madonna.
Yeah. And she can't get it right. And they're trying to figure out whether was it her bracelets or her earrings or something that kept making a bunch of noise. And
they wanted more female voices. They already had Kim Carnes, who was a big star at that point in her career, and they were deciding between Madonna and Cyndi Lauper. And they said, well, Madonna seems more like she's a flash in the pan. I think Cyndi Lauper might be around for a while.
Whoops.
Yeah, not exactly.
Can I just defend Cyndi Lauper? She's been around the whole time.
She has been around a long.
I mean, she's like doing her farewell concert at
and she's,
Hollywood Bowl in August.
She's selling one of those medications too. I forget
does.
which one
That's
it
what
is.
she's
She
best
sells a
known for
medication.
that. Yeah.
Is it an eczema thing?
I
You
think it is.
scratched your arm.
I love too, like the idea. It just speaks to like the misogyny of the music industry. Where they're like, we've already got Kim Carnes.
Let's just
get
add one more woman.
We need a woman. We're narrowing it down to
I
two.
think Mace. They also had Dionne Warwick, right?
Oh, they did have Dionne Warwick. That's right. She did.
And
sing
I'm
in-
sure I'm leaving some women out. Did they have Stevie Nicks?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's look this up right now.
Okay, well, while you look that up,
Yes.
what does it matter and how much would you do a medication commercial for?
Well, Mason and I got offered when we started, like in the very beginning, and this is when we didn't have any endorsements, and we got offered a penile enlargement deal that this doctor in San Diego or L.A., I don't remember which, was selling penile implants.
Yes.
And they said to both of us, we will give you $10,000 to record one spot. We both passed, and later, the way this guy decided to do ads was he had these female voices start with something like this. He was the nicest guy I ever dated, but it was just too small. And then another guy comes in and goes, he played 4 games of racquetball and didn't even take a shower. And then the announcer would come in and say, has this ever happened to you? Then you need Dr. Melvin Rosenstein.
Can you imagine? Would anybody take that endorsement?
Mace, do you remember what we did with those ads?
What?
We made it the open
Oh,
to
yeah,
our
we
show.
did.
So it would say, Steve Mason. He was the nicest guy I ever dated, but he was just too small. John Ireland. He played 4 games of racquetball and never took a shower.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Mason and Ireland. And then that doctor ended up getting sued.
Yeah, he did.
Whoops.
Now, Trev, you said you would take an endorsement like that?
Not for $10,000.
Oh, not for $10,000.
But there's a number,
But you
sure.
got a number?
Oh, yeah, you'd have to keep trying me, but yeah.
100 grand.
Done.
Done.
And you're doing penile enlargement act.
You're a terrible negotiator, Ireland. You immediately went to 100K.
Done.
We could have gone to 11.
I wouldn't
Let's go
do
to
it.
15.
I wouldn't do it because then you become the penile enlargement guy.
I'm taking the money and heading for the hills. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have enough at 100,000? Do you have enough for the hills? The hills are very
No,
expensive.
but at the time, 100,000 would have been a big. I would do it for 100 grand right now, for sure.
I'd do a medication ad. Like, what are the medications?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you said to me,
do you think
eczema
you
or
would do,
something
Trev?
like that.
Do you think you would do pretty much any endorsement
No.
for 100 grand?
There are things I wouldn't do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There were things that I was offered other places that I said no to.
Really?
What's an example
Can you say?
of one?
Guns.
Oh,
Okay.
my God. Gun advertising?
What about a political ad? If a political candidate asked you to endorse
If it was a candidate that I supported, I would.
You would?
Yeah.
See, I would not.
Yeah, I think then you alienate half the audience.
Maybe. But if it's something
get to
that I
keep the
believed
money.
in, yeah.
Honestly, it feels like we alienate somebody no matter what
Oh, correct.
we do
Yeah,
anyway.
no, we are,
Like
we are alienating.
Right, like the
naturally
idea
alienating.
of trying to figure out exactly who you're going to alienate, who you're not going to alienate, I think ultimately you end up doing worse shows anyway. Just do the show you want to do.
Right.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Ohtani tonight. I'll be there. Not at the foul pole either, by the
Yeah,
way.
not at the foul.
Not
You
at
got
the
good
foul-
seats?
It's pretty good.
Nice.
What up, Eddie? Thank you, my friend.
Oh, there you go.
We'll see you tomorrow. That's Super Crosstalk.